shown in the masterpiece image. I was introduced to street photography just after I moved into Manchester and just found myself wandering the streets and noticing split-second moments happening between people, whether that be an interaction or just something happening that would usually just go unnoticed by everybody else. And I just felt it was important to kind of document these moments and just life and emotion on the street, really. So shooting the older couples in this way really resonated with me and captured my eye. You see younger kids in town, there's so many distractions, social media, but with the older couples there's a real strong connection, and you can really tell that, and I'm hoping to kind of bring that across in these shots. So yeah, one of the nice features that I've noticed today while I was out shooting with the phone was the colours and just the tones that come out of the images. Very similar to my digital Leica that I used to shoot with a few years ago, which is nice. It gives a kind of real authentic feel to the shots. So yeah, I think we've been quite lucky today, just looking through some of these shots. We seem to have some strong images. I have days where I'm out shooting and you walk around for an hour, 2 hours and not take one picture. So I'm quite happy today. We've got quite a few images. For instance, this one I feel is really strong. The couple linking arms. It's just a really nice, clean backdrop. I quite like the way he's turning to look at her as well. It's really nice. So another image that I really like is this shot. We actually had a brief chat with the couple. The older guy noticed my Leica, and he actually owned a Leica when he was younger. He used to shoot quite a bit, he was telling me. I particularly like the detail on this shot, and it's just a nice crop as well. I really like the framing on this image. So I'm really happy with this one actually. It's you get the nice moments when you're shooting on the street, where sometimes you engage with the subject. This was one of them times where we kind of locked eyes with the woman. She caught me taking a picture. She had a little laugh to herself. Her husband was smiling. Yeah, it's just a really nice moment that was captured. So coming into Manchester today has been great as always. I love seeing the variety of people that you can capture. And it's these kind of experiences that just keep me coming back into town, shooting and capturing these moments that would usually go unnoticed, and I just want to be here to document them.
Xiaomi.
While unreliable camera probably just can end at disappointing.
I think this is one of the beautiful things about photography. It just bridges gaps between people and foster, understanding between different cultures of the world. Yes, I remember this picture. I just took it a few weeks ago. And then I saw these girls and boy running to each other. The key of taking these pictures is just fast and accurate autofocus. In real life, things happen in a blink of an eye so fast that you cannot just adjust focus by hand.
I do agree with what you say. Apart from that, I also think reliability is also very vital. A reliable camera can provide you consistency and reliability, just like a best friend. While unreliable camera probably just can end at disappointing.
So, Faye, I like it when you say that phones are like best friends. And this made me come to my memory of pictures I just took a few months ago in the center of Rome, near a bar. And they told me, this is my wife and my best friend. And they're all passed away. We were so beautiful, so young, so strong. And now I'm the last one. I think that, photography has the power to evoke emotions and provoke thought. It gives people the ability to freeze moment and create memories, and to photographers the possibility to create stories, to tell stories without the need of too many words.
I totally agree with you. Just look at this photo. Look at how the age has framed. Camera technology do help people to capture and preserve the memories. And nowadays, the digital image can be saved so much longer and so much better. Actually, this is also one part of motivation for working as a camera engineer.
For me also as a photographer, advanced camera technology let me capture moments that were not even possible before.
Yes.
High-resolution sensor, image stabilization, just let me create and capture images with much more clarity and detail.
Yes, a good photo does have a technical standard, but to some extent, it's your personal pick based on your perception of what is considered to be as a good photo.
Yeah, I think this is true. For example, look at this picture, To some people, this picture may look very, very simple, but to me it is not, especially because the father, when saw the pictures, told me that I was really able to capture the relationship with his daughter beautifully.
I can feel it.
Yes. This was shot in Havana 1 year ago. And when I was here, I was just trying to fill the frame, putting one subject in every vertical line of the picture. An old woman came to me with some fruit and some water. I think she was the grandmother of the owner. And it just felt me feel so good, and it makes you also think of how warm and beautiful the Cuban society is.
Wow, that makes me really want to go to Havana.
Well, you should, because, people are so nice there. I think this is one of the beautiful things about photography. It just bridges gaps between people and foster, understanding between different cultures of the world.
Exactly, we Xiaomi camera engineer believe that technology should contribute to the fostering connection among people from different cultural backgrounds. Okay, so in Beijing, the pigeon and the pigeon whistle are kind of specialties. The sound is actually coming from the pigeon whistle, which is tied to the pigeon while they're flying. I never heard this sound before. So this is a hutong. So you can still see hundreds of years of the history in the hutong, and even to this day, you still can feel full of the life in the hutong.
Yes, it just make me want to go back to Beijing again. Very nice pictures.
Thank you so much. But China, not only can you experience this kind of traditional life, you can also feel the height of fashion and modern life like this picture. But you can see the wings, it's all covered, her body, and the fastening is not secure. So our very senior French designer and sewing teacher is quickly sewing up in the very dim light, just waiting less than 5 minutes before she went down the stage.
This is just a moment.
Thank you.
I think that through your photography, you are just offering glimpses of your traditions, culture, and way of life. And that just shows that you're a very good photographer.
Thank you so much, but I'm just the majority of the smartphone user. I like to capture everyday life with my smartphone.
So, capturing everyday life with your camera phone, that sounds so nice.
Thank you. Through yesterday's shooting, I gained a lot of valuable insight into your professional photographer's work environment and the way you live, which is entirely new to me. You finding your inspiration while you are on the street, talk to the stranger, ask for a perfect portrait. You picture a very good actor's portrait with the professional lighting setup. And you also directed this lady to find her best position. I like this one best. You just used our smartphone and to take this credible shoot without any lighting setting up. Brought me great joy to see all those kind of pictures, the food, everything in the form of product to help to preserve and capture those memories.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So it was my pleasure, and I was so happy I was able to talk with you today and that you shared with me your beautiful picture.
Thank you so much. It's also my pleasure. think so.
Xiaomi.
Can we play a game, Mom?
Okay. I am going to write down a word, and you have to guess who you are.
So, am I tall?
I think sometimes you can be as tall as a mountain. Other times you can be as small as a tiny seed.
Am I strong?
You can handle things that may be difficult for others. You have the power to keep going, even when things are tough.
Am I like a chef?
You create amazing things from simple ingredients, always mixing and blending to make something new and wonderful.
Am I pretty?
You have so many different colors and shapes, and you make everything look so much better.
Can I be upside down?
That's a funny question. As the world is constantly moving and spinning, I'd say yes, definitely.
Am I always happy?
Oh, sweetie, just like a garden needs a variety of plants to thrive, we also need a diverse range of emotions to grow and learn.
So, is it okay to feel sad?
You know, sadness is just as important for you as rain is for flowers. But hey, you still haven't figured out who you are.
Oh yes! I know who I am. I am you, Mom.
Walking down the street, holding my camera, is a daily ritual. But every day is different. What I see is not just buildings, bikes, birds and boats. I try my best to carefully observe everyone passing by. Their joys, sorrows, expressions and emotions. My name is Matt Stewart and I'm a street photographer. I love using my Leica camera. They're small, quiet, light and reliable.
You can set a small aperture to obtain a large depth of field. This achieves hyperfocal distance shooting.
Amazingly, such a function is now available for the first time on a smartphone. The Xiaomi 13 Ultra is extremely responsive, requires no focusing, and guarantees the best picture quality. The phone has a hyperfocal function. It will intelligently switch to a smaller aperture. It comes with a Pro Camera 1-inch sensor. Your work gains more depth of field and captures authentic and clear stories. Once you've set up the phone, it disappears into your hand, and you're left to completely concentrate and react to what you see. This is a camera phone, not a phone with a camera.
Xiaomi. pues estaban confinados porque se iban contagiando, así era imposible llevar un tratamiento. Continuamente había cambios de agenda, cambios de sesiones.
Per me la casa è il posto dove posso sentirmi in pace, tranquillo e in relax.
We want to bring free classes in this house because we also believe that technology is part of the evolution process of people having a smart home, having a good technology to help children to use it.
Ni-join ko sa Xiaomi community, i-apply ko sa Xiaomi renovation kaya para na ako makatabang sa akong pamilya.
Me siento muy identificada con la compañía porque yo también creo que de una pequeñita idea se pueden hacer cosas muy grandes con mucha constancia y con mucho esfuerzo.
Xiaomi.
Everyone has a story, waiting to be uncovered. Sometimes it is floating in the wind, carried by the waves. It is a secret, deep in your heart. Sometimes it is those dusty memories, the old tunes, the everyday strolls. When the time comes, you will feel that the story reveals something new. When the sun sets on your past life, and you set off for a new journey. When you run in the pouring rain, then lie down underneath the sun. Those things you've created will eventually frame who you are. You are the protagonist of your world, with a story only you can tell.
Xiaomi.
I suppose for myself, I'd associate that with my family.
To reconcile with the past and allow each other to become who they really wanted to be.
The possibility to show the others how life is precious and how you can live with the beauty of imperfection.
A masterpiece has to reflect the artist's state of mind. I think it has to give a little bit of the artist itself as something very personal, in my opinion. First time I saw a camera, I was probably a tiny baby. My mom always carrying one herself. I took on dancing at the age of 8. I was accepted in a dance school. This environment requires you to be completely dedicated. You can't waver. I think that's made me the way I am today. When I started taking photos, it was really to be able to share them with family that weren't here, months after months, years after years, kids after kids. gradually they're growing up. Having had the life that I had, taking photographs is my breathing space where I can actually witness things rather than being carried away. My childhood being the way it was drives me to explore something different with my own children and capturing little pockets of freedom, wilderness. That should be what childhood is about.
Hey everyone, my name is RJ Bruni and I'm a filmmaker, photographer, and Xiaomi creator from British Columbia. Today we are deep in the deserts of California near the Salton Sea. It's 108 degrees and I've got Niles and James with me to make this happen.
Okay, but you're probably wondering, who's RJ? He's a creative from Canada who first got a camera in his hands way back in elementary school. He then started a production company when he was 18 and well, the rest is history. He's most passionate about capturing experiences with friends, which is oftentimes just on a phone. And today, he's going to teach you some tips.
I love shooting automotive and I've always wanted to shoot sweet motorcycles in the desert, but being from British Columbia, Canada, we don't really have open deserts, so there's something about this landscape that I just love and I've always wanted to shoot. And because of the lighter ground, the sunlight bounces everywhere. It's also monochromatic, which means there's really only a few colors. You have tan, dirt, and blue sky. We have 3 types of shots we're going for, and I'm gonna run through how to best achieve each style of photo.
I mean, I think it looks amazing. It's so hot. It's probably the hottest place on earth right now. James's bike almost doesn't work because it's too hot. But, oh, look at this guy, he can't even stop.
Now all these tips can be put into practice for the Xiaomi Imagery Awards, which is a unique competition for all Xiaomi users.
There's 7 categories judged by 4 professional photographers and it ends September 30th. I recommend heading over to the website linked below to check out the previous winners and learn more about how to submit.
I don't think there's any other phone company that's doing anything like this, which goes to show how much Xiaomi cares for its customers and its creators alike. The first set of photos we're doing are portraits and lifestyle. Here, we're going to utilize the wide and the tele lens on the phone. The difference between these lenses is obviously the focal length and the field of view.
So I'm getting both wide shots and tele shots right now. The wides, I mean, they really just make it seem very wide and desolate, and they're good kind of hero shots. And then the tele brings you in a little bit more, compresses the background, and makes it a little bit more, brings you into the subject a little bit more.
When posing, it's best to give your subject an action versus a pose.
I gave James some cues, so told him to rip off in the distance, but then I was kind of looking for this moment where he's just chilling, sitting on the bike, so you can get some lifestyle moments in between the movement and the cues that you give your talent.
For this situation, I had James do whatever felt natural, getting on and off the bike, putting on his helmet, etc. It also works well for documentary style. The bike broke down for nearly an hour and I took the opportunity to document the experience.
It kind of just tells the story and paints a bigger picture of what's happening.
Okay, now time for some movement. Slow shutter is a great way to shoot action as the motion blur truly captures the sense of movement. To do this, you need good action as well as to shoot in pro mode on your phone to turn your shutter to anywhere between 1/10th and 1/80th of a second. You may also need an ND filter depending on the available light.
It's hard sometimes to find that sweet spot, but for the speed we're going, about 1/80th of a second, 1/50th of a second seems to be working.
Tracking with your subject and staying at the same pace will make your subject tack sharp, while everything else in the background is blurry. If there's too much light to slow your shutter down, action can still look incredible though. In this case, getting closer to the dirt spray makes you feel like you're in the action, and then pulling away for a wide has more of a cinematic feel to it. It's best to try variety here and see what you like best. Alright, let's get some night shots. As it started to cool off, it was time to get the fire going and bust out the tripod. We had a great sunset, but blue hour is one of my favorite times to shoot. The clouds were insane, and the fire adds to the aesthetic of the scene, as well as providing light for our subject. The tripod allows us to keep the camera still and slow down the shutter to let in the most amount of light while limiting any noise or blur. Just make sure the subject is still and you don't bump the tripod or camera.
Okay, stay super still there, James.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you love these photos and tips as much as I do. Be sure to check out the Xiaomi Imagery Awards and submit your favorite photos. Until next time. Let's go! How sick was that, dude? That was so sick.
Hi, my name is Hannah Reyes Morales, and I'm really excited to be sharing with you what I know about photography and storytelling. Perspective is really important in telling a story. Every image that we see comes from a certain perspective, and it's really important to understand what shapes yours. When I was little, I remember just being curious about, what photography is. I started looking through our own family photo albums, wanted to contribute to it when I was little. It was always, I wanted to be a photographer. It was like wanting to be an astronaut for a kid from Manila. I guess when I was a kid, I didn't realize that something like that would be possible. But eventually, when I went to uni, I took an elective for photography, or photojournalism, and my professor at the time was a wire news photographer, and I begged to intern for him. And I thought that I would be, making coffee. And instead, on my first day, and I arrived in white pants, he sent me to a coal yard and lent me all the equipment. I saw my photograph in The Guardian, The New York Times. I was just shocked that maybe, just maybe, this was possible. When I was starting out, I was, emulating the visual styles of people who wouldn't have come from the same place as I did. And so, of course, the photography didn't quite work. The world opens up to me differently because I am a woman. Back then, I was a girl. Once I understood that I had something to offer, that the world would open up to me in a very specific way, and that I would get access to things that maybe other people weren't able to access, I think that's when I really started feeling that I was a photographer and not just pretending. Understanding that you have your own perspective and that has value in the world. That's when it starts to matter in photography. One of the things that I always ask people to do is to try to think about the stories that have shaped them, and try to think about not only what those moments are, but what are the visuals of it? Are there little details that you can remember? Whether it's little elements, things that make you feel nostalgic, things that make you long for home. So for me, it's the way that the light falls in my house. As a photographer, I will then try to utilize those elements and bring them into an image and see how that plays a part when you're trying to tell a story. For example, when I'm working on a story that's meant to be hopeful, I try to observe, the kinds of light or the way that the light falls to make an image that might evoke that feeling in just me. And the magic of photography is when things like light and shape and color and time just all intersect into a single moment. An exercise that I used to do was just to see, how the light would fall on my hand at different times of day. And then looking at those images and see what that made me feel. What's wonderful about the time we live in now is that there's so much power in the tools that are smaller. And as a photographer, I've always valued being able to work with more discreet and more subtle tools. It's a powerful thing to understand how perspectives shape the kinds of stories that we hear, the kinds of stories that we tell. Understanding your roots, what your shared experiences are with your closest friends or your loved ones. Those are simple things that I think play an important part in understanding your own perspective. When it comes to photography in particular, that entails so many different things, including the tools that you pick that reflect the kind of story that you want to tell. And I think most of all, most important is really that all of it just requires practice. It doesn't always mean that once you understand your perspective, you're immediately able to come up with a kinds of image that reflect it. That's something that you have to work towards, and that's something that you have to build bit by bit. Another exercise is just observing gesture and photographing different kinds of gestures, facial expressions, body languages, of course color, how those things add to an image. And then it's what Bresson calls the decisive moment, where all of those things come together and then the photographer decides to take a picture.
Xiaomi.
Pues estaban confinados porque se iban contagiando, así era imposible llevar un tratamiento. Continuamente había cambios de agenda, cambios de sesiones.
Per me la casa è il posto dove posso sentirmi in pace, tranquillo e in relax.
We want to bring free classes in this house because we also believe that technology is part of the evolution process of people having a smart home, having a good technology to help children to use it.
Ni-join ko sa Xiaomi community, i-apply ko sa Xiaomi renovation, kaya para na ako makatabang sa akong pamilya.
Me siento muy identificada con la compañía porque yo también creo que de una pequeñita idea se pueden hacer cosas muy grandes con mucha constancia y con mucho esfuerzo.
Xiaomi.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome you to participate to this evening's event. Much thank you to all of you. This is my first time to make this annual speech. For the first 3 times, due to the pandemic control, they were happened within our Xiaomi park, and a few people arrived. This is the 4th time, and we considered again and again. We really wanted to have a grand event and then enable our friends, new and old, to get together. So today, we gather in Beijing, the National Conference Center, to have such a grand event. At present, there are so many people, about 3,500 people, and there are even more friends who are joining online. Once again, thank you for your participation. Thank you very much again. Two months ago, I participated on this year's graduation ceremony of Wuhan University. This year marks the 130th anniversary of the founding of Wuhan University as alumni, invited by my school, and delivered a speech on the graduation ceremony. For me, it's an ultimate honor. When I was studying on the stadium and facing all the teachers, faculties, and students, all my memories once again emerged. So today, I'd like to first of all share my journey as a student in Wuhan University. It's still about 36 years ago. That's in 1983-7. I was admitted to the computer science department of Wuhan University, and I read a book in the library. It's called The Fire of Silicon Valley, which established my lifelong dream. After reading this book, I was full of energy. I was so excited that I didn't go to sleep. I still remember there's a starry night, starry sky, and on the stadium, this one. I walked around it once and again for entire night. I have fire in my heart. I wanted to have an extraordinary company. Therefore, the fire of dreams was completely ignited in my heart. That said, as a freshman, as I was a young man who just came out of the countryside and knowing little about the world, with no resources, I want to create an extraordinary business. Isn't that a pipe dream? How can I realize that dream? So that night, I compounded on this question for entire night. To be honest with you, I got no clues. I have no idea how to go about it. Then I decided, stop thinking of it, just do my learning well at the first place. Therefore, I was determined to do my studies well. And how to do that extraordinarily? I thought of a very extraordinary goal at the time, that is to complete all the credit for 4 years college life within 2 years. That's extraordinary, because the credit system was started just by that time. Many people were not aware of that. And I set such a high goal for myself. You can think of it. Within 2 years, to complete all the courses and credit for 4 years, which means you have to double the workload of all the examinations and homeworks and the lessons. It's really hard, extremely hard. I took this challenge. However, When I started to go about it, I encountered difficulties and hurdles, many challenges. How did I solve them? Today, I'd like to share 3 difficult courses that I cracked. If you are yourself a college student or your children are in the college, maybe this is helpful. First, how to choose courses. Wow. As a new student, you have no clues. And after compounding this question for long, I decided to ask people for help. But however, I am a little bit afraid of intimacy. I'm really not good at social activities. But I had no other ways around, so I decided to visit senior students to look for people from my hometown. I think this is very handy technique that you can use in colleges. And I found some of them, and they were so helpful, obliging. They walk me through all the lessons, how to choose the easier ones, and which courses are more difficult, and the sequences. And after all that, they shared anecdotes of all the professors with me. In addition to that, before departure, they left all the textbooks or even class notes to me. At that point, I was so much helped. And suddenly I knew how to do the college year and finish this journey, and I knew the direction. So I have this experience and lesson. When you encounter questions and challenges, people tend to solve them by themselves, but actually your question is not as unique as you thought. Most of the questions have been encountered by others and be solved, and even there are standard answers. What you need to do is just to ask and find the correct people. It seems simple, but I really advise you that when you encounter difficulties, find someone to ask for help. This is the first lessons I learned in college years, and this is so helpful in my later question solvings. Next, the next hurdle for me is how to study all of them by myself. I believe all of you are quite good at learning something by yourself, but don't forget, I studied computer sciences, which was split from the mathematics. It's almost like half of mathematics. The courses were quite difficult. How difficult it was, many people think, wow, advanced mathematics were very difficult. Actually, we learned the most difficult mathematics, even more difficult than advanced mathematics. So it's very difficult. I could not solve most of the contents by learning it myself, and I was stuck constantly. It's very painful, and I was almost giving up for many times because it's so difficult to crack. But at that time, I got the gut and put up with it and continue and persisted on learning it myself, and suddenly the dots were connected. Why I did that? I skipped the course that I did not crack. I skipped it and started it on the next chapter. That is another lesson, to take it as a novel. You read it, just persist on. After a couple of weeks as a pause at the interval, you do it one over again. Do it several times. After several times of trial, you will understand it. Actually, the logic is quite simple. After many years in grade schools and high schools, we thought, the misconcept is we thought knowledge is linear. Actually, it's not absolute. There are not necessary sequential relationship. When you have something that you cannot understand, you can skip it and start to learn the content behind it, following it. And then after that, you can connect the dots after you have went it through it for many times. At that time, I collected and concluded many learning tactics. Today, society is changing so swiftly. Only relying on knowledge we learned from school is not enough. I was learning software when I was a student, and now my career is about smartphones and cars. And there's a huge gap between disciplines. So over so many years of journey, I think the learning ability is the most critical one. So you must grasp all kinds of ways to learn and be able to learn it for a lifelong time so that you can face up all challenges in your life. Talking about that, I want to share my third hurdle. That is how to deal with the call attendance by teachers. In college, this calling attendance is a huge thing. It's important. Today, it's still the same way. Because many shares I attended it with students, with classmates, even of higher grades, and I have to double my workload, my courses. So the conflicts of time and schedule was inevitable. Without many students knew of me, and when the teachers, when the professors called attendance, it's a headache for me, and it may influence my scores and credit. And I started to think why teachers took so much to calling attendance. Then my conclusion was the purpose for doing this is to make sure students really paid attention to their work, to their homework and classes. Therefore, whenever in the class, I sit in the right center of the first row, just in front of the professor. And whenever there is a question from the professor, I raise my hands bravely so that I could impress my professors. And during class break, whenever there's a question, I always took my initiative to ask for help from professors. By doing this repeatedly, professors were impressed favorably about me. So I solved the problem, the conundrum of calling attendance. Isn't that handy and helpful, right? By doing so, I cracked all the hardcore difficulties, and I finished all the credits within 2 years. I finished the work of 4 years. In this process, professors in Wuhan University were really obliging and helpful and helped me a lot. Whenever I think of it, I'm so grateful to professors. And I'd like to take this chance to thank all my professors for your help.
What I learned is a computer science. Finishing all the credits is not enough. Programming was the top priority. To write good program, that is the key. Therefore, I challenged myself with the second goal, to be a good programmer. I think for each student in the computer science department, that should be a quite clear goal, and it would be easier for them to find jobs. So when I was in school, I want to set this goal to be a good programmer. About 30 years ago, there were very few computers, and we had very good conditions in the computer science department. But it was quite limited. All students in the whole grade practiced on the computer. We only had one 68,000 minimal computer. You may not heard about this minimal computer today. Maybe you know PC. Previously, we translated into the minimal computer. And we think it is a server which is much powerful than the PC. We only have this 68,000 minimal computer. Its performance was less powerful than the mobile phones 10 years ago. And even worse, it was connected with over 20 terminals. Over 20 people had been using about this computer at the same time. The speed is outrageously slow, and everyone needs to have a ticket to use the computers. For each one, we had 2 tickets, and for each time, you can use 2 hours. You can imagine for each week, we only had a few hours to program. It was really hard. So how to solve that problem? I came up with several ideas. First of all, as long as I have time, I run to the machine room to line up to use computers. If someone didn't show up, I can take the chance to use their computers. Isn't that great? And I was quite familiar with the teacher managed the computer room. I was like the safeguard of the computer room. Well, if there's no computers for use, I could stood beside our classmate and even gave guidance to the students who don't know how to do. It was very fulfilling. As you can see, I was like that youngster standing there, even the clothes. Just stood beside my classmates. To effectively use the computer practice, every time I wrote the code on paper previously and directly input them after entering the machine room. In order to make it faster, I came up with another idea. I made rubbings from the keyboards using the printer paper and stuck to the desk. And once when I have the courses, I can tap at the desk and try to practice my typing. After a while, I discovered that many people tried to imitate me. Therefore, during the course, we often heard people tapping at the desk, and many teachers confused. Maybe you don't know about the behavior like tapping at the desk. Well, we all did that. And if the teacher delayed the courses, we all tap on the desk to remind the teacher to finish the class. Well, if we don't have the computer to use, I have another unique skill to program on paper. As you know that there are many demonstration programs in the textbook. Those were the best ones. And I tried to use my own ways to rewrite those programs on the paper again and again until I can write exactly the same as the ones in the demonstration program in the textbook. I made a lot of efforts in that regard. As a freshman, the first programming course I took was called the Pascal programming language. Maybe it is called Pascal nowadays. Well, that was the first programming course I took. When I was a sophomore, some students told me that my Pascal assignment was re-edited into the new version of the textbook by teachers. I was so thrilled to know that. Afterwards, I was also involved in teachers' laboratory project. Then I got a chance to use the computers. Within the laboratory, I often stayed up all night and gradually became the technical expert in the eyes of my classmates. A few years ago, I saw a piece of code for assembly language on Zhihu application. Well, it is a very difficult language, and it is quite difficult language. This is the assembly language I wrote when I was a sophomore. It is a memory management tool called RI in the dot system. It was quite popular in China and used widely. Basically, every programmer used that. And I open sourced all the code. I haven't imagined that after 30 years, still have people discuss about these codes. As a programmer, I'm so proud to see that. Afterwards, I challenged myself with the third objective, to publish a paper in a first-class academic journal. As a college student, it was really hard to publish papers in the academic journal. With that goal, I asked advice from my professor Zhang Dexiang. He suggested that I should organize my thoughts on the computer virus and try to write in thesis. At that time, each teacher treated me really well and gave me a lot of help. Professor Zhang Dexiang gave me a lot of help, and he supported me greatly. And today, I especially invite Professor Zhang on site. Thank you so much, Professor Zhang Dexiang. And I especially invite teacher Cao Jiahen, who taught me the assembly language. Thank you so much, Mr. Cao, because I got 100 scores for that course, and there were only 2 persons got 100 score. Thank you so much for all your support and guidance. That was in the early of the 1990s. China just went through the computer virus outbreak for the first time. I was really interested in that and even wrote an antivirus program, which was among the first batch of the programs in China. Was that really an academic result? I was unsure. But according to the suggestions provided by Mr. Zhang, I boldly began to write my thesis. It was all on the manuscript paper. I wrote for dozens of papers. After writing, I shared with a few friends. They provided me several suggestions. And one classmate mentioned that, I had a suggestion for you. Your handwriting is not very good. He told me that better handwriting, better chance for admission. And I was shocked. Then he voluntarily to copy out my thesis. It took 3 days for him to finish that. His handwriting was really good. With so many aspirations and help, I have sent my thesis to the authoritative academic journal called Computer Science Research and Development. After half a year, I received a letter and said my thesis was admitted. It never occurred to me that the first time was a successful one, and it was officially published after 2 years in the year 1992. And I didn't know that it took 2 years to publish the paper. And afterwards, people told me that was the normal procedure. And with the encouragement of Professor Zhang, and I also sent to another competition, national competition. I was also encouraged by Professor Zhang and used his fund to participate in that competition. Well, that is the only academic meeting I was attended. Today, when I recall those memories, well, those goals might seem too big, but if you try, it's not that kind of difficult. Many things are not so complicated. As young people, as long as you dare to think and do, you need to have the courage to think and do. Those things are not complicated. Only by trying you can achieve your goals. Well, that is the feeling I have obtained after publishing the thesis. Well, this was my school life in the Wuhan University. Many people have the similar experience when they were young because of one book, one movie, or one person. Our dream is ignited. I was lucky because I treat my dream seriously. And I try to realize my dream through different goals and exert all my energies to realize those dreams. The power of dream is extremely strong. Because we have dreams, then I tried hard to turn all the impossible things into possibilities. The experience in Wuhan University has laid solid foundation for my life afterwards. After completing all the credits in Wuhan University, then I had enough time to do something fun. In the May holiday, in the second year of my college, I was on the electronic business street and met a new friend. He was highly skilled, and his name is called Wang Quanguo. He was 4 years older than me. He was a senior, and he stayed as a teacher in Wuhan University and also worked in an online equipment company, school run. And I often went to their companies to use their computers because their computers were all the latest models. I tried to write programs on their prototype, and once they have clients, I was responsible for reception and introduction about their business. Many teachers thought I worked there, but in reality, I purely used their computers. No salary, but they offer a lunch for each day. And I'd like to thank the boss of that company for providing the opportunities for using computers. Later words, we got familiar with each other with Wang Quanguo, and he also recognized my strengths, and we decided in the summer vacation we could write an encryption software. So why choose encryption software? Because it was difficult, and we wanted to challenge ourselves. So we decided to generate an encryption software. At that time, every day when we got off work, we closed the door of the company. So we closed the door, and the entire office turned into our paradise. I like to open two computers. You can imagine, open two, one for programming, one for testing. Well, it's just like said in the joke, when we have money, we can buy 2 bottles of Coke, we drink 1 bottle, we pour another bottle. How cool is that?
Those were happy days. We often worked until 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, and we were so sleepy. And Wang Quanguo said, we still need to do some exercise, and we need to play some game. And for him, playing game is doing exercise. So after 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, we would sleep in the office, and there were 2 couches in the office, one for each of us. But no matter how late we slept, we have to get up early in the morning because they still need to work in the office. So I didn't think we slept a few hours at that time. So day and night we worked for 15 days, and we both got skinny, but the product was developed as planned. So this was the first commercial software I developed, BitLock, an encryption software. It was launched in August 1989. The price of this software was 2,000 RMB. At that time, our salary was about 100, so 2,000 was a lot of money. After this software was launched, it was well received in the community. Many programmers and developers really love this tool we wrote, and the sales was good, and we upgraded for a few generations, and we sold it for 6 to 7 years until 1995 or 1996, and we made a lot of money. So that was the summer vacation in the 3rd year of my university. So my first try became a success. I was so excited. But deep down in my heart, I know clearly that this wouldn't be possible if I was not working with Wang Quanguo. Think about it. I was a junior student. I was less than 20 years old. Wang Quanguo, without his experience, without his resources, without his help, I wouldn't even come up with the idea of writing this program. So I do feel that I think one man, no matter how strong he or she is usually limited in capability, but working with your friends, it will make it more likely for you to succeed. Just like this, Wang Quanguo and I become friends of life. And we also worked with Wang Quanguo in Kingsoft for 30 years. So 30 years later, in May 2019, Wang Quanguo and I, 2 old boys, took a picture in the pose of Kappa with our back-to-back to commemorate our first success. Today, I also invited Wang Quanguo, my good friend. Thank you. Thank you for your help. Afterwards, on the electronic streets of Wuhan, I spent a year. And I became somehow famous on that street. And a senior student wants to set up a business, so he came to me, and I agreed to be his partner. Without any hesitation, I was so excited because I thought I finally had the opportunity to do something big, because for me, my dream is entrepreneurship. So I was very excited at that time. And we rent a room in Nuoyu Hotel. The room number was 103. The company name was Sansa. We had 4 founders. We were all friends. And each of us get 25% of the shares because we were too shy to talk about the shares, because we are on good terms. So we evenly distributed the share of the company. We all wanted to achieve big. We were so busy every day. We usually stayed up late at night, and we were so enthusiastic about our endeavor. And we had more than 10 people in the company. So here comes the problem. Who is in charge? Why do we ask this question? Think about it. If 4 people have to discuss everything we encounter, it is really tricky. And if we disagree with each other, we would fight for a long time. We had a lot of fight, so we decided that we need to elect a chairman democratically. So with this election, in a couple of months, there were several rounds of re-election, and everybody became chairman of this company, except me, because they think I was too young and I was not mature and calm enough. And I still had a classmate from the university. He kept my business card. You see my title, the technology director. I was the only one who was never elected chairman of this company. We started by selling computer, then we wrote programs. We even provided reprographic services. For the great dreams of ours, we are not afraid of hard work. We would like to do anything we can. The reality was harsh. We made some money in the beginning, but as our business grew bigger, but it became more difficult to make money. Very often, I was studying at university in the evening, and the directors would come to the university and drag me to a meeting, and the meeting lasted the whole night. All the chairmen, we had no experience, so after a night of discussion, we came up with no solution. Then the company ran out of money, and we couldn't pay the salaries. So that was a painful process. Think about it, as a boss, you can't even pay your employee. At that point, one of the chairmen bragged that I was not good at doing business, but I was good at playing mahjong. So we sent him to play mahjong with the staff in the canteen to win some lunch vouchers for us. So he played a few rounds and we won a lot of meal vouchers. So the company sustained for a while. But however, he won too much, so the staff wouldn't play with him, and he cheated a lot in the mahjong game. So, at the end of the day, the company could not sustain. We liquidated the company without even having a farewell party, and I got a 286 computer, and I took the computer and went back to the university. And I feel so tired. I slept the whole night, and when I woke up the next morning, when I walked on the campus, the sunshine was good. And I feel so relaxed. I don't have to be so busy around anymore. So that was the end of my first entrepreneurship. So I reflected upon this several times, and I thought we were too naive. We were so naive and innocent. Like entrepreneurship, the 4 of us, we don't know who is taking the lead. We don't know what we really want to do. We just do every business opportunity we encounter. So the failure of Sansa threw cold water on me. It made me awake completely. I realized that it was difficult to run a business. For me, I think just to have technology is not enough. There are so many more things you need to learn about. Years after, I met a startup team from the university, and there were 4 shareholders. Each of them holds 25% of the share, and when I look at their business cards, all of them were chairmen of this company. And I was surprised, so I asked them, which one of you is in charge? And they told me that we were good friends and we discussed everything we encountered. And they were so confident. At that moment, it seems that I saw myself and the Sansa at that time. So I don't think their entrepreneurship would be smooth. I can only wish them good luck. I think entrepreneurship is the best way for a man to grow up fast. After my graduation, I met Qiu Bojing, and he took me into Kingsoft. There were 5 or 6 people in Kingsoft. Time passes by really fast. This year marks the 35th anniversary of the founding of Kingsoft. Kingsoft is the place where I really grew up. My 2 big brothers, Qiu Bojing and Zhang Xuanlong, shared with me a lot of support, and I have a group of brothers like Zhou Tao, Zhang Qingyuan, Guo Wei. Together, we spent so many years. Inside Kingsoft, there was a saying. It goes, one man alone might walk faster, but a group of people walking together, you can walk further. I think this is the most important lesson I learned from Kingsoft in 35 years' time. In April 2010, I set off once again with the wildest dream in my heart. I established Xiaomi with a group of partners. Looking back at my entrepreneurship journey in the past 3 decades, it is a process of constantly chasing my dream and constantly growing up. The theme of today's speech is Grow Up. Talking about growing up in the past 3 years, Xiaomi's exploration of high-end has been the most painful but most rewarding growing up in the recent 10 years for me. Xiaomi's high-end exploration started with Xiaomi 10. At first, we had a good start, but following that, Xiaomi 11 suffered from a major setback. All of us took a deep breath and spent a lot of efforts to develop Xiaomi 12. Still, it couldn't reach our expectation. And it was really unexpected for all of us that to be high-end can be so difficult. It requires so much investment. A sense of frustration spread across the company. I talked with our colleagues for a long time. Many of them hold really sharp opinions, and I was really surprised at it. Some of them say that it was really difficult to be high-end. Can we just give it up? Can we just focus on mid and high-end? Why do we have to develop high-end products? And some others say that the brand image of Xiaomi is fixed. Perhaps we should change to another brand. It is really difficult to make Xiaomi a high-end brand. That was before the Spring Festival holiday. I always thought that all of us are determined to develop our high-end product, but I never expected such a huge disagreement. After that, my heart was so heavy. I didn't even enjoy my Spring Festival holiday. The first day after the Spring Festival holiday, I held an urgent meeting, and that was the largest dedicated strategic meeting in the history of Xiaomi. All the general managers of the company attended that meeting, and I encouraged all of them to speak freely. Maybe because it was just after the Spring Festival holiday, so in the picture, people seemed to be happy, but our discussion was heated. The discussion lasted from noon to night, and I kept persuading them that our dream of entrepreneurship is to make Xiaomi a world-renowned technology brand. No matter how difficult it is, we have to stick to the pathway of high-end. And this industry is a difficult one. Think about it. We have Apple, Samsung, and Huawei and other technology giants. The competition is fierce. in the face of so many top players, we have to develop high-end products. So high-end will force us to seek technology breakthroughs so we can earn more spaces for growth and development in the future. It is not about whether we want to do it or not. To be high-end is an essential pathway for the development of Xiaomi. It is a battle of life and death for Xiaomi.
We must be unswerving on this decision and strategy. Therefore, we put it as our group strategy and we got consensus all over. And on this meeting of last year, I put forward my own view, and my colleagues recorded it as a video footage. I wanted to share it.
这可能是全公司的事情，因为高端太，我觉得在发布小米12的那个最后的2个月的时候，我认为我的情绪是极度崩溃的。从绝望再找到希望以后，我这个基本的结论是什么呢？我觉得过去2年高端之路，我们已经取得了巨大成功。我觉得去年的失败是必然。 没有系统化的能力的训练，反正蒙对1、2次，终究会输。高端需要巨额的投入，高端需要长期的战略定义，需要坚定不移的决心。小米为什么要做高端？如果我们愿意做一个小而美的公司，我其实这觉得也是一种选择。如果我们想真的干到全球第一，真的实现我们的使命和愿景。 有一个非常清晰而明确的结论，就是我们必须走高端化战略。这就是我
This
在去年年初讨论的2次会上的讲话
meeting footages happened the last year.
所以呢，高端的探索呢是特别
So the exploration to the premium
跟大家
journey is extremely difficult. I'd like to make 2 examples. For example, image.
我们在2017年
In 2017, we set up an independent image and camera department. It was so important at the time. Each time the launch ceremony of our competitors, each time they used the XO evaluation to show how competent their camera was, and as a part of their promotion. For me, we invested a lot and we were expecting highly of our product. On one launch event, I said directly, do you remember that? I will not reiterate that. You remember it all. So we got a very clear goal to surpass our competitors. And the goal was we must compete with our competitors on the XO evaluation to become #1 of the world. And after that goal was set, our R&D team was so thrilled, and quickly we became top 3, then top 2. Finally, after much effort, we became the #1 with another competitor. But to become the sole #1 is difficult. After 2 years of efforts and preparation, we tailor-made our sensors, and all the parameters was the maximum level, and we made a lot of efforts on toning. And this product is Xiaomi 11 Ultra. This is our goal, the summit of image, the beacon of Android system. Much effort was made and inputted into it. On the last day, prior to the launch, we got the DHO evaluation report. The score is #1 in the world. At the time, our entire camera department was excited and thrilled. This is the triumph we were expecting for so long, for so much. You cannot think of how excited we were. We made a celebration dinner even before the global launch event. Everyone was so excited, and the entire company is filled with enjoyment. And we light up our Xiaomi technical park, and I'd like to share with this interesting footage.
太梦幻了，这就是2年多前，太梦幻了。
That's crazy. 2 years ago.
谁也没有想到。
But out of everyone's expectation, the first day when it's launched, our users give a tsunami of negative comments, and we were caught unguarded. Such a premium parameters and number one globally, why our users were still unsatisfied. After deep reconsideration and review, I think this is an advantage of Xiaomi. Whenever there is a question, we look into ourselves to review our own deed, and after very painful and poignant reviews, we realize that even you got the top scores, it does not mean the image is really good and users are necessarily satisfied. So how to produce photos and images to the satisfaction of users? And here we learned, here I relied on the experience I picked up when I was college students to find Leica for professional advice. When I put up with this suggestion, my team told me Leica actually tried to reach out to us for 2 times, but we declined by different teams for 2 times before. I was surprised. How come? We declined Leica's approach, and I started to learn what happened. I concluded that it was not that we were overconfident, it's that we were prudent, because Leica had been cooperating with some competitors for a long time. Whether we can surpass their success, if not, then we will be left out. So we were feeling much pressure. I have a different opinions. I said, so long as Leica is the best teacher, so long as we are willing to learn, we are certainly to grow up. I believe growing up is the tantamount significance and the ultimate goal. So I made several phone calls to my photographer friends, and they all told me that Leica is the legend of image. Their competence and influence are top level. Therefore, we were determined to sign a contract with Leica. This cooperation is so significant to Xiaomi. After cooperation, we immediately arranged a big thing, that is opening a class to start photography class. Because you know that only when you know and love photography can you make good image. So we formally invited Leica team to Xiaomi Science Park to hold photography class, and I forced all core team members to attend the class to learn how to make photography. This is us in the photo class. To date, 6 sessions already, and I did not skip even single class, even more tentative than my college journey, because I am the head student. I cannot ask for leave, and I know who have asked for leave. The class is quite difficult because we have a lot of workload. When it's weekends, we have to take class and have to deliver homeworks. So the pressure is quite huge, and we must produce albums. So it's quite a workload. Once, in order to finish the deadline, one morning before 8 a.m., I went to the Starbucks cafe within our premises, and the colleagues were scared, and they ran away because I was wielding my cameras to shoot everywhere, and people were just standing. Therefore, the culture of photography and imaging starts to take its roots. In our culture, we arranged all kinds of seminars, workshops, and photography galleries, and the entire company established a deep understanding of photography, and we made friends with a photographer and made a huge-scale grand photo ceremony on Great Wall. Let's take a look. This is our photography exhibition. By doing so, we knew more about the photography, and we were determined about our strategic direction of humanistic imaging, and we were determined that we must make original Leica image on our mobile phone. Actually, it's quite difficult to realize it on mobile phone. How come? Because the mainstream photos by current phones are very vibrant in colors, but it's fake. It can attract users. If we do the Leica tone, it's very good image and it's very humanistic. But how about the customers have difficulty to embrace it? We cannot just produce one only for professional photographers. Therefore, we were very much undecided and talked with Leica repeatedly, and we were not settled down and determined. We know that the Leica tone had never appeared on the mobile phone, and how to do about it? We came up with an idea. We said, how about our two teams double our workload? After we finish the Leica Classic tone, then we design another set of Leica Vibrant to satisfy the majority of our users. Whether that's okay. Out of our expectation, Leica was also surprised. They didn't expect that Xiaomi was willing to pay the investment for two mobile phones to design one, and they embraced it with delight. Therefore, the Leica dual image quality was born. This is the fruits of our cooperation. After it's launched, the results has been very successful. The first one is Xiaomi 12S Ultra. Not only it was embraced by users, but also favored by professional photographers, and it got very good acknowledgement. I remember a photographer, after one first glance at the photo, he was surprised, and he said, I have never seen such a high quality with a full texture photo done by a mobile phone. I still remember to this day. He said, splendid, it's cool, it's real Leica. He said it's full of Leica feel. Later on, we quoted this as our catchwords for our advertisement, and it went viral.
Well, it goes like the defining moment, the new era. We have so many stories. Let me share with you another small story. Do you know that? On the screen. Well, this is the professional photographic camera equipment. You can install it within your smartphone. It is quite popular. Well, when we first launched it, the price was $799, and it was sold by the scalpers at the price $1,400 for such hot product, and it even disproved by myself for twice. Do you know the reason? Well, only by learning photography, then I started to realize and understand the ideas of those photographic enthusiasts. And at the third time, when we want to set the project, I said yes without any hesitation. Then we released this project. As you can see, for the same product, various recognition empowers different decisions. Here, I'd like to thank Xiaomi product team for their persistence for 3 times, and choose proves that you are right. Right now, for the 12S Ultra and 13 Ultra had all achieved great success. And Xiaomi has achieved very word of mouth among all the general users and professional photographers. And right now, it can produce better pictures with better images. And those explorations and changes are happening in all aspects of Xiaomi. And we have better understanding towards premium products. And our premium products have better performance. Let me tell you the story about Xiaomi 13. As we know that Xiaomi 13 is quite successful. During the R&D process, it almost failed twice. For the first time, it was during our seeking for the project approval. At that time, Xiaomi 12 and Xiaomi 12S failed to deliver the desired result, and losses were very substantial. So we had been wondering whether we need to keep on doing this small-sized Xiaomi 13. Half of the colleagues were against it, and the debate was fierce. Many of you may not know it is really hard to generate the small display flagship. And we need to produce a flagship without any compromise. It was a huge task for us. Well, it posed great challenge for the R&D capabilities. So sometimes you see that for the small size flagship, it is the flagship with a lot of compromises. That's why we say it's really difficult to generate or create a small size flagship. Or we can say there's no perfect ones within the industry. And more importantly, even you can make it, the cost is really high, and sales might not be good. That is because the small size smartphones don't look as valuable as the large screen smartphones. Do you agree with me? So I totally understand people's concerns, but I still believe that the hand feel is the most important user experience. Although it's not listed within the parameters, we cannot say it's beneficial things. But once we use it, we have the hand feel. We can feel it. Then this project was reluctantly approved. Our R&D team fought to win or die and unleashed their effectiveness. During the pandemic last year, in order to stay on schedule, our colleagues all lived and ate in the office, just like had a military training group life, as you can see within the photos. There were a lot of fun. Successfully, Xiaomi 13 delivers excellent results. I can say proudly that many of the experience even surpass iPhone. It was an excellent product we have generated. For such wonderful product, should we have confidence? Well, actually, our colleagues still lack of confidence. And it's just before the launching of the product, many people suggested that we should cancel the releasing of the product. During this discussion, the atmosphere was even more depressed. It was also stressful, and I was under huge pressure to make the decision. I repeatedly persuaded people, and we held several meetings. Well, first, what I want to convey to people is that although the losses of the Xiaomi 12 was substantial, and if we lose again for the Xiaomi 13, maybe we will lose billions of RMB, and we are afraid of the losses. As you know that in recent years, we have invested around 10 billion RMB. Well, secondly, we also concerned that all the other competitors have been doing the large screen flagships, and they have very good parameters, whether we can compete with them. For such important questions, we still concerned. What I did was to persuade people one by one. I said, we must have patience when we create premium products. It needs a process for the users to recognize it. And competitors are not doing it, but we are doing it. It shows that our products are unique. Because right now we are confronted with homogeneous competition within the market. With the unique market, we can provide unique experience for our users. With my resolution, our colleagues agreed to release this product. Then, after ups and downs, the Xiaomi 13 released within the market. At that time, and some Mi fans joked with me. They say that they still wait for the Xiaomi 14 and will not buy the Xiaomi 13. I was afraid. And I was almost crashed. But no one expected that once it has been released, the word of mouth of Xiaomi 13 and sales had been doubled harvest. Or they call that is the lucky product of the Xiaomi. Continuously, we released 3 generations of the small screen flagships. With our large determination, investment, and patience, and we have achieved the success of Xiaomi 13. While this might not be huge, but it is a treasure for us. Within our Xiaomi, we think it is of great importance because it is the first time for us to have such a masterwork which has been taking the lead in terms of the parameter and experience. Because we have invested heavily, it can provide excellent experience for our users. Well, we reach a consensus. We think that experience always comes first. Meanwhile, in the last 3 years, we have formed 3 basic principles of premium products design and has been widely accepted. First, we should design the premium product without any compromise. And second, when there's conflicts between parameters and experience, we always take experience as the priority. And third, we need to realize the deep combination between software and hardware, providing unique experience and guarantee for users. Therefore, I believe with such recognition and consensus, our Xiaomi's products will be better and better. For Xiaomi's premium exploration, after 3 years with tens of billions of investment and tens of thousands of people's efforts, we have experienced ups and downs, and finally, we have ushered in a staged breakthrough. Even small signs of the success is quite difficult to obtain. It all needs the change in recognition, and it needs us to make breakthroughs. In this battle, even a little success is very difficult, and we think only by having recognition, then we can achieve the real growing up. Well, that is the several key growth experiences that I went through in the past. When I studied in Wuhan University, I started my dream for a lifetime and to try to realize my dream into different objectives. When I worked in the Kingsoft, it allowed me to complete a role change from programmer to manager, to start Xiaomi, and we think it is a vision to change China's manufacturing industry. It is a new business model, and my dream began to come true. Every experience, every transformation is a cognitive breakthrough, but also a key growing up experience. In recent years, many people feel quite anxious and confused. Many people ask me, as time goes by, how to obtain our internal silence. My answer is quite simple: to grow up. Only by growing up in a down-to-earth manner, then we have enough confidence, courage, and determination to embrace all the unknown challenges. And only by growing up down to earth, then we can enrich ourselves inside, and we can have our eyes sparkled with inspiration and power. Life is a marathon, and successes and failures in a moment are not so important. All the difficulties in life will be addressed during the process of growing up. People are great because of dreams, and they grow up because they persist in dreams. Dear friends, may you go through the baptism of time and your dreams still will shine. Dear friends, no matter what your dream is, I wish you a dream come true and wish you have a happy and fulfilling life. Well, that's all the content for my speech. Later on, I'm going to share with you a video, and then we will hold the Xiaomi annual new product launch event. Please kindly wait for several minutes. Thank you.
将来的手机也许就是一块屏幕，也许就是一块透明的玻璃。我的屏幕是不是能够再大一点？能不能够再大一点？有些东西啊，我们现在在电影中看到，或者在一些科幻片中看到，觉得那是不可能的。Mix 是第一个以悬臂梁的方式来实现压电陶瓷这样一个技术。
红外线会受到环境的温度啊、光线的一些干扰，超声波没有这个问题。
我们定制了一款前置摄像头，不要比普通的前置摄像头要小50%。
我们在选择的第一个突破点是什么技术呢？叫全面屏，说服 Google 呢放弃对16:9的限制。今年我们进一步进化到18:9。在2015年9月，我们就申请了弹出式全面屏的专利。
目前市面上普通的旗舰手机，它的屏占比一般只能达到70%左右。
但是我们的这个 Mix 呢，它的屏占比做到了91.3%。
我们去掉了传统的听筒，去掉了传统的红外探测器。当200多万颗像素同时点亮的那一瞬间，你会发现，所有的色彩都占满了整个屏幕。
Ceramic is a very, very, very old material coming from the deepest place of our civilization, of our humanity, and also is the most modern because it's incredibly strong and it's warm. It is the same structure than jade.
探索就是要进入一个未知的无人区，去走没有人走过的路。
The best part of intelligence is creativity. The goal is us, to make us better. If we don't think about us, that will be so much intelligence, our genius just spent and just go in the garbage.
厚重问题呢，成为了折叠屏手机进入实用阶段的最后一个关卡。Mix Fold 2呢，在这个问题上取得了革命性的进展。
We don't want pollution. We want just the image. It's the content which is important. I want to see the person I love, nothing else. And we need all the nano space everywhere. That's why it's so magic.
作为一款旗舰机，它也是原汁原味的徕卡影像。
我觉得徕卡最吸引我们的点呢，还是在于他们对传统影像这块的一些积累。毕竟100年的徕卡，
观感、审美这样一个非常主观的东西，去用具体的参数定义在我们的手机设备里，其实这是一个蛮难的过程。
我是觉得徕卡给我们提供了一个审美的一个标准。我们小米影像大脑里边有个非常重要的一个模块叫仿生感知，我们用了4700个场景，100多万张照片，这些也是 AI 的模型的一个训练，让它更接近于我们的人脑的效果。
我第一次在手机拍摄出来的照片上感受到了油画的质感。
生活就像电影一样，电影我们可以倒放，但是我们生活这一帧过去了，你永远不可能会倒放回来。
Dear friends, welcome to the new product launch of Xiaomi. We are living in a time featuring great changes. Xiaomi as a technology company, what is our way out? First off, I would like to report to you. We will continue to adhere to the vision and mission as well as our value. We want to develop good products liked by our users with honest prices, so everybody in the world can enjoy the wonderful life brought up by science and technology. In addition, we will always comply with our principle of technology as our foundation and continue to increase our R&D investments. In the past few years, this has been the R&D investment year after year. You see the growth rate is high. I still remember in 2017, every year we invested 3.2 billion. Last year, the R&D input was 16 billion, and this year, the R&D input will be over 20 billion Chinese yuan. By the end of Q1 this year, we hold 32,000 patent licenses in the world. We not only pay attention to the quantity of the patents, we also highlight the quality of the patents. In the first half of this year, I read a report by CAICT. The report is about the 5G SEP. So for the 5G SEP, we account for 4.1% of the total. For the first time, we got into the top 10 companies in the world. Among them, Xiaomi is the youngest one, and we're also the fastest growing one. Maybe you think 4.1% is not a huge number. Take a look. For the 5G SEP, the best company holds 14.59%. Number 2 holds 10.04%. So Xiaomi as a young company has done a lot of technology improvement and technology accumulation. Time is changing. Xiaomi is growing. Based on our thoughts about the future, we upgraded our technology strategy. We will select technologies that have long-term value to human civilization, and we will adhere to long-term and continuous investment. We want not only to benefit the life right now, we also want to contribute to the growth and development in the future. By doing so, we can build up our core competitiveness and mold so Xiaomi can really become a great technology company. What is the pathway towards this goal? First, we are determined to develop underlying technologies with constant investment. We have deployed in 12 technology sectors, including 99 vertical sectors. In the next 5 years, we will invest at least 100 billion Chinese yuan. In addition, in-depth integration of soft and hardware and AI empowerment. Soft and hardware integration is the feature of Xiaomi. We believe soft and hardware integration can provide users with a unique user experience. AI is becoming an important productivity. AI is also the underlying technology Xiaomi invested in for a long time. We wrote this into an equation. So this is the technology strategy of Xiaomi. In this strategy, AI is placed at the center. Talking about AI, we started our deployment very early. As early as 2016, we built up a team. After 7 years of development, after 6 expansions, now we have over 3,000 people in the team. This is a highly powerful team in this industry. We have mastered different AI-related technologies. We also empowered our business units like smartphone, vehicle, AIoT, and robotics. Without this technology, we won't be able to develop our autonomous driving technology. Without it, in the robotic industry, we wouldn't be able to become a leading company in the robotic industry. So in recent years, because of our continuous investment to AI technology, it has laid a solid foundation for us. The most popular AI technology is large model. Large model is an important technological revolution. Xiaomi will fully embrace it. In April this year, we built the large model team of Xiaomi, and quickly we applied this technology to our business. The first business that this technology was applied to was Xiaoai AI Assistant. It is a smart voice assistant. It also has one of the largest user bases. Its MOU is over 110 million people. It will be upgraded to a large model version, and from today, we are hosting an invited test. Please feel free to contact us if you are interested in this. Talking about large model, our main direction is lightweight and local deployment. Unlike other internet companies, as you know, large model requires massive data, so it is easy to involve privacy into it. It also requires huge computing power, and the cost is very high. We are a smartphone manufacturer. How can we utilize our strengths? The first thing that comes into our mind is lightweight and local deployment. Can we deploy it on the smartphone? Can we use it on the smartphone? Can we implement the computing on the smartphone? Can we enable people to use the large model on the smartphone? So we come up with this bold idea. The first thing we did is to make it lightweight. We will optimize the 10 billion AI model. I asked my team about the progress, and they told me that the 6 billion parameter model we trained, you see, we rank both #1 on the major rankings, so we're making fast progress. Of course, ranking is not the end game. It is more important to hone our technologies. This is the ultimate purpose. Our team is great because not long ago, the 1.3 billion parameter AI model was operated on the smartphone. I believe this is the first large model run on the smartphone. And the result of the 1.3 billion parameter model is as good as the 6 billion parameter model run on the cloud. This is astonishing. In some scenario, its result is as good as the 6 billion parameter model run on the cloud. So this proves that this is a viable pathway. So with this opportunity, I would like to report to you that Xiaomi will fully embrace a large model, and we will find a unique pathway for our development of large model technology. This is Xiaomi's technology strategy. We continue to increase our R&D investments, and we have made stage-by-stage progress in our high-end strategy. Last year, we launched 4 new products. In August, we launched the new foldable display, and in December, we launched Xiaomi 13 and 13 Pro, and in April this year, we launched Xiaomi 13 Ultra. What about their reputation? So this is the review across the e-commerce sites. The positive first-month reviews across e-commerce sites are all over 99% for all the products. To achieve this, it is incredible. That means during the celebration party, I said that Xiaomi is capable of developing high-end products, and we are able to continuously develop great high-end products.
What is more difficult to do it right each time? That means we have established entire system capacity. That's the most important one. The three major operators, China Mobile, China Unicom, and China Telecom, have completed their yearly assessment, very high ranking to Xiaomi, meaning we are developing step by step. Today is the yearly new product premium. We have brought to you several yearly major milestone products. The first one, Fold 3, the new generation foldable device. Last year, we initiated the light and thin foldable phones. This year, many competitors are following us. How about this year? Let's first watch the video. Right, let's take a look. It's a thin and light foldable phone, only 10.96 millimeters when folding, just like the same thickness of iPhone with a protective case. When unfolded, it's 5.26 millimeters, and with ultra-narrow metal frame and brushed metal technique. Four-side curved surface screen. At the same time, empowered with a quad camera with Leica optical lens, and the decal is unibody. Ceramic panel, very delicate. Two colors for you to choose. One is starry golden. It's used velvet-like glass. Velvet feel is realized on glass surface, no fingerprint. And also moon shadow black, using leather-like glass. Touching on it as if you are touching on leather. This is the new generation ultra-thin foldable flagship Fold 3. And for foldable device, the most important underlying technology is hinge. Hinge is extremely critical for this generation foldable phone. First, we want to introduce to you our really cutting-edge new generation hinge system, our Xiaomi proprietary hinge. Why it is so cutting-edge? Let's take a look. It has three-element connecting rod structure, extremely delicate, like clockwork. I have this for you, schematics, comparing the water drop with our new hinge. How delicate it is. It has three elements, three levels, connecting rods compared with the traditional two elements or two level. It has 198 components, three elements connecting rod structures and 14 micro hinges, and its sturdiness is even better. When you open it up, the structure is so delicate here, and in order to strengthen it, to make it more durable, this time we adopt. We use super materials. First, ultra-high strength steel is used. It can sustain 1,800 ampere, meaning it can sustain 72 tons within 4 square centimeters, about more than 30 vehicles weight. And here we use the carbon ceramic steel that is 4 times more durable, and it's much smaller and more delicate in structure, and there's an array of innovations in the industry where it is good at. The first question itself is the conventional delicacy of a hinge. and foldables. So the first question is how to improve its quality and durability by a large margin. Now with this new hinge, our new foldable can pass the TÜV Rheinland Extreme Folding Certification for 500,000 folds. In addition to it, 3 other advantages. First, the ultra flat on the screen surface. The reason is this: when we open it up, the hinge itself is quite flat. You may think, what's difficult about that? Let's compare with our competitors. Their hinge is exposed. With such exposure, the surface has a dent and a groove, and when there is something impact in it, it's prone to damage. And also we use UTG glass. This is ultra thin, flexible glass with only 0.03 millimeters. The durability is increased by 2.25 times. It's flat and I'm not sure why our competitors are still using the CPI plastic material. I don't know the reason, probably to cut back on budgets. So long as you open it up, you unfold it, you will see how advanced our product is. And also we have this wide-angle stop and hover mode, 45 degrees to 135 degrees. The third advantage is the 3-level hinge. It can generate a protection on the inner display. If you drop it unintentionally, compared with the traditional water drop hinge, on impacting, there will be impact between the bridge and the inner display. But with our hinge, the protection is surrounding the inner display. This is how we simulate the result. So the protection is much stronger by several times. Our engineers really invested hugely into improvement in quality. They made a test. This is so expensive display, and I asked them, should we really drop it? And they insisted on dropping it for real. Let's take a look. What's your feeling watching it? When I was watching it, I was thinking, so expensive display, dropping it on it, so I strongly do not recommend users to do this. We only try our best to reduce the possibilities of damage upon dropping, but please do not try that intentionally. We did that only to show that we do not make any compromise for our flagship. It's cutting-edge technology, but still quality and durability is of paramount significance. Okay, with the hinge, there's an even bigger advantage. It's lighter, more delicate, and thinner compared with last generation. When it's folded, it's 12.5% thinner and 800 narrower, and it's lighter by 17%. The space is smaller than by 17%. With this advantage, we can realize flagship without compromise. It's thinner and smaller. Compared with others, you might see where the compromise is. For example, camera sets. You can think of it to 10,000 yuan level flagship. The camera is not good, or the quality, or the wireless charging, or other functions. There is compromise. Actually, it's difficult to realize smaller and thinner. For our last generation, we made compromise on the wireless charging. But with this new hinge, we can make this full functional flagship without any compromise. How come we have this idea? Because we have done a lot of reviews on our customers. We believe that users for premium phones, they demand no compromise. There must be cutting-edge technologies, and there's no compromise. So we have 3 principles for our design. We persist and insist on flagship without compromise. Another thing is important is display for foldables. It has 2 displays. Both are of top level and most expensive. Do you know how expensive they are? For the tailor-made prototype, we do not produce them. We cooperate it with our suppliers, and we tailor-made it together. It's about 100 to 200 million yuan, and each one as a mass production price is 1,000, 2,000 RMB. So do not drop it intentionally. And the outer display is of 6.56 inches, like a normal phone. You do not have to open it with all the functions, but once you open it, 8.03 inches inner display. It's like a mini iPad mini. Equivalent to that. So office work, charts, spreadsheet, or even watching movies, it's so enjoyable, and it uses E6 material, is top quality display, and 1,300 nits of global brightness, and support 120 high rate refresh rate. And for quality, we use the Canon Gorilla Generation 2 Victus protection glass for the outer display. For the inner display, we use UTG, and we use special calibration. It supports ultra-accurate color display and multiple device color synchronizations. This is very good for satisfying professional designers and photographers. It's very difficult to realize, and we just achieved it for the last couple of years, meaning the color regeneration is of identical level across multiple devices, on phones, on tablets, on computers. It's very difficult to synchronize colors on different devices. And for foldable system is also very difficult. Like the top 200 applications, we realize 100% adaptation, and we use these adaptive engines because some of them cannot adapt it by themselves, though I provided the adaptive engines. We can analyze their contents and rearrange the layout to avoid forceful distortion. For example, the bank's applications is frequently used, but they do not have adaptations. They used to distort it forcefully. It's big but ugly. But with our adaptive engine, the layout is more reasonable. You can see the major bank apps of China. So please try to adapt it. And we have this huge angle hover, for example, watching movie, video conference, and a telephone. And also we can use this inverted hover mode. When you are doing this, working out. So this stop and hover function mode can satisfy multiple scenarios. And also we have this smart multi-task. For this big display, we can switch among different applications. We have several ways to switch, but it's quite baffling to users. So we have this smart multitask. If we found that you switch two applications quite swiftly and frequently, it will pop up this smart multitask function. Also, when you are navigation or doing something, there's a message coming in. In order to reply it, you have to switch it. When you switch it, the current full screen application will become a smart floating window on the corner. And after replying message, you can switch back. So we did a lot of smart applications to enhance your experience.
So I'm very proud to say that for this foldable display, no matter for the inner display or the outer display, it's all the top grade displays. And as you can see, we also designed this symmetrical stereos, creating better effects for watching dramas. Top flagships must have top performance. It is equipped with Qualcomm's best processor. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 is not a standard version. Instead, it's the leading version. CPU and GPU's performance are better. With such good processor and it also includes over 10,000 square millimeters cooling systems. Because it's a large screen that we need to have very good cooling systems. Then you may have very poor experience in playing videos. In order to provide better experience, we have been using over 10,000 square millimeters cooling system to ensure its top grade performance. Now let's look at its performance. How good is it? Compared with iPhone, 1 hour for TikTok, and we're lower 1.9 and also 2.2 degrees. Compared with the best affordable display from competitors, the temperature lowered 1.1 degrees. When playing the heavy videos, their FPS is about 52. So that is our design principle. When we fold it, we want to compete with iPhone. And when we unfold it, we want our smartphones to be the best affordable smartphones. In so many years, our team has made a lot of efforts in terms of antenna and signals. And we have around 4.1 patents in terms of the 5G technologies. And we want to have the most powerful 5G signals in the foldable displays. And we have 4 antenna array in the symmetrical layouts. We can realize that dynamically switch according to the usage scenarios. On the upper right corner, there is a super antenna. In the case of a weak network, this N78 5G frequency band has very good performance. There are so many scenarios for usage. You can fold it or unfold it. Based on your gestures holding the phones, it can intelligently adjust the antenna. And we also carried out all scenario 5G application. And when you arrive in the airport, we can have the fast network return. In the high-speed train or subway, we also strengthened our antenna. And we will open the 4 antenna array to improve the signal in the occasions you need. In this way, we can ensure the top-grade performance of the flagship. We think DLU is also your most concerned things. On this smartphone, we have been using 2 high-density batteries. We have been using the newly generation silicon carbon anode material. And the density has improved by 10% compared with the last generation. And it is also equipped with the 3 Xiaomi Surge chipsets. And we also use our self-algorithm to match the silicon carbon anode battery. In this way, we can achieve the long charging and battery life. And as you can see, we can ensure that we can improve the battery life and its durability. Well, the battery is about 4,800 mAh for such a large screen. So how long is the DOU? 1.34 days. 1.34 days is the highest level among Xiaomi's flagship. Well, many people don't understand about DOU model. Let's make a simple comparison. Well, we use the full screen to play the videos to the dead of the battery and to see how long it can last. Let's look at the comparison result. For iPhone 14 Pro, it can last for 13 hours and 17 minutes, and iPhone 14, 16 hours. And for our Xiaomi phone screen, it's 22 hours and 2 minutes. Isn't that wonderful? Talking about the big screen, many people buy affordable smartphones, but they are reluctant to use them because they think the battery is poor. Let's think about that. It is 1.5 inches of the large screen, 2K, 120 Hz. So what about the battery, whether it can be good? And today I'm going to show you why this display is expensive. Because as you know that this is the low consumption, and it has been using the POLES Plus display. The logic is quite simple. Well, as you know that it removes the polarizer from the conventional OLED display. It sounds simple, but it's difficult to do that. And this technology can save 52% of the battery. We think technology is quite powerful. And that is the reason why it's so expensive, because it can save 52% of the power. And DOU is excellent. And we also adopt a series of the software and hardware combined solutions, not only for co-organizing, but also in other aspects. I will not elaborate on this regard. Again, this backdrop, Mix Fold 3 has an 8.3-inch large screen, 2120 Hz 2K large screen can reach 1.34 days of DOU. Isn't that amazing? Within the 5-hour heavy usage mode, among all the affordable smartphones, Xiaomi Fold 13 also ranked #1. Well, it accumulates many cutting-edge technologies. Let's compare with iPhone. Maybe we'll not compare with iPhone. So we have made it the lightweight, affordable smartphone with super long battery life, and it also supports 67-watt wire turbo charging, and it takes 10 minutes for 36%. It also supports the wireless turbocharging. It occupies a lot of volume. That is because the wireless charging is becoming increasingly popular, and it can be used in the electronic vehicles. So we want to re-add the wireless turbocharging back into our smartphones. We have the 50-watt wireless turbocharging. And most amazing thing about this affordable display is about this camera. And we have achieved the quad camera system with Leica optic lens. This is the Leica certification. Leica speaks high about our product, and they never thought about on such a lightweight, affordable flagship, we can have such wonderful optical system. They think it's a benchmark. And here is the congratulation letter they sent to us. On this smartphone, we applied the new generation Summit Chrome lens and newly add the ultra-high transmittance glass lens, which provides pure image quality. Now let's look at the core camera system. As we know that iPhone and other competitors only have 3 cameras, and Leica has core camera system with 2 telephoto lenses. In terms of the hardwares, we have the 2x main focal length. With so many various focal lengths, we can match different scenarios. Now let's look at 2 telephoto lens. First is a 3.2x telephoto camera and perfect for portrait shooting. Another one is the 5x periscope camera. It's amazing to have such a 5x periscope camera in such a thin smartphone. With all focal lens, we have the wide-angle lens to shoot for the beautiful sceneries. For example, like this bicycle. We have this 2x, 5x, 3.2x. Those wonderful cameras for different focal lengths, we can get very clear image. Meanwhile, for those 4 cameras, they all have wide apertures. Isn't that amazing? And it is also equipped with 3 SMA OIS. Many competitors just don't use the OIS. And we are also under pressure because we have so many different technologies. And we also want to remove this part, but we didn't. And we think it's very important. We have been using the SMA OIS, that is the shape memory alloy OIS. It is quite expensive to use it. We used it once and didn't continue because it was so expensive. And this time, for the lightweight consideration, we want to use this shape memory alloy. It has very excellent performance and quite thin, but it has one shortcoming that is so expensive. Now let's look at sample pictures. Let's look at this one. It's quite hard to capture this kind of photos. It's an old man sitting by the car window. The photos has very large light ratio, and we need to capture the reflection on the glass and even the words in the near. And this is a capture photo. A father takes his children out to play. You can see the birds flying in the sky and the clouds in the sky. All had been captured really clearly. And there are also the backlight shots. We have the sunset. The effect is stunning. And you can see the golden ring within the picture. It is the Leica style, has the humanistic style. And this is for the sunset. The sky is stunning, and using our smartphones, we can return the beautiful colors we can see through our eyes. Isn't it beautiful? We think that the Leica lens is the most suitable ones for shooting sunset. Well, that is a very important scenario to test if the image is good or not. And the 3.2x portrait telephoto lens is perfect for portraits. As you can see here within this picture, a child is learning rock climbing. He is a little bit nervous. And parents can use our smartphone to capture this moment. And as you can see, the optical quality is really excellent. When shooting the distant view, the herder and his horse in the distance are clear. You can see many details, like the textures of the clothes. And for this one, it also has Leica style. The child threw his head into the sky, and the clouds in the sky are really beautiful. And with Leica's lens, it creates immersive feelings for users. And for this 5x periscope lens, it provides excellent image quality. We can shoot for the paraglider. You can see the rope is quite clear. It also supports the telemicro, which is suitable for close-ups. This is a boy's eye, and you can even see the black streak in the eyeball, which is quite real captured. So I'm so proud to say, with such a lightweight foldable display, quad camera system is applied, which is remarkable.
So flagship without compromise. You know how difficult to achieve this goal. We figured out different ways. Because of our user insights, we believe this is very important. We know there are many foldable displays, and people like to use the foldable display to work and read a spreadsheet. Still, they want a good camera to record their lives, so they bring two phones with them, one foldable display, one flagship camera. But both phones are not slim enough. But now, with Mix Fold 3, what is the benefit of it? You just need to take your Fold 3. So this is a team climbing the Wukuchu snow mountain in Sichuan province. The first day, they set off from the bottom of the mountain. Everybody was relaxed. So after a day, the second morning, they encountered a snowstorm. The visibility was poor. And in the third picture, they overcame all the difficulties and climbed up to the peak of the mountain at 8 a.m. in the morning. Cloud dispersed, and they continued to climb. So this is an adventurous journey they recorded. And many parents take photos of their kids. Kids are difficult to take photos of because they move around. So you can use the telephoto, the long focal lens, to capture the moments of your kids. This is a youth Spartan event. It fosters the kids' spirit of teamwork. So you see, parents can use our camera to take photos of their children and capture all these valuable moments. Moreover, this is the Gorbit Desert Challenge competition, and a team from Peking University participated in it. They got up at 4 a.m. and started running at 5 a.m. and they used Mixed Fold 3 to take pictures of the entire competition. The one in the middle is a 70-year-old old man. He is still jogging every Wednesday in the week, and every time he runs 10 kilometers. And they also have a good tradition. So usually a senior team member will take a new member of the team and help the new member. So this challenge competition is very famous. Now with Mix Fold 3, you can take pictures in all kinds of scenarios. And hover photography is a great function. And even outdoors, you can take a selfie by yourself. You can also take the starry sky time lapse. So in the past, you need to kneel down to take the picture, but now you just need to put the camera at your waist level. And for the inner display and outer display, they are all equipped with a front camera. So for video conference and to scan QR code, it will be very easy. You can also do a hover selfie. You see, two sisters use the hover selfie. So this is the quad camera system with Leica optics across all focal lengths. On a lightweight and slim foldable display, there are 4 cameras, and there are also 2 front cameras. This is a powerful camera system. So for Mix Fold 3, it has the Xiaomi proprietary hinge, the quad camera system with Leica optics, it has extremely long DOU, it has 2 best-in-class displays, it also has the best cooling system and the best performance. How did we combine all these features together? I was surprised. As I mentioned, the Xiaomi proprietary hinge, I asked my engineers, and my engineer told me there are many innovations in this phone, and maybe we can talk about the stacking of the motherboard. So, there are over 2,200 components on the motherboard, and you have to put 4 cameras on it. So they developed a new methodology. It is Xiaomi self-developed vertical stack motherboard. So let me try to explain this to you. So in the past, the motherboard is like a 1-story building, and iPhone developed a 2-story building. But for us, we built a 3-story building for you with a balcony and a penthouse. In such a tight space, we built a multi-story building. However, the entire area is only 16.9 square centimeters. Among the best smartphones in the market, this is the smallest motherboard, and we have even more functions than others. If a media wants to disassemble this foldable display, I can assure you that this represents the highest level of technology nowadays. I still want to compare ourselves with iPhone. The first time when I compare ourselves with iPhone, and people think we're low, people think we're cloud chasing. But for me, I think we have to benchmark with iPhone in order to catch up with iPhone and even surpass iPhone. This is why we benchmark with iPhone, and this is also the goal of benchmarking with iPhone. So in the future, during the launch event, if it is necessary, I will always benchmark with iPhone. Please bear with me, okay? But I think benchmark is also with iPhone is also boring because we have better display, and we have better gaming experience, we have longer battery life, we have better camera systems, and we also have better signals. So with all this being said, we are way better than iPhone in many aspects. Still, iPhone is great. We still need 3, 5, or even 20 years to catch up with iPhone. But as long as we make efforts, at the end of the day, we will catch up with iPhone. This time, we are also highly determined to guarantee the quality. We upgraded 15 testing standards, added 33 testing standards, and there is a total of 81 testing standards. This time, the quality department would like to share a video with you. Indeed, for Mix Fold 3, we made a lot of efforts to guarantee the quality. In order to better protect this foldable display, our material engineer also did a lot of work. They designed the Xiaomi composite fiber version. This is a brand new material. It is an aerospace-grade composite. How strong is this material? It has high strength and high resilience. It is 36 times stronger than the glass. In order to show you how strong it is, later on, I'm going to show you an air cannon impact test. It is a simulation of the bird strike test. We will accelerate a 5mm ball bearing to 200 kilometers per hour and use it to hit this material and show you how strong, how resilient this material is. Let's see it. So this is covered by the Xiaomi composite fiber, and this is the air cannon impact test. Strong, isn't it? No matter how strong the glass is, it always breaks when it is hit by a ball bearing running at 200 kilometers per hour. But this material can better protect the foldable display. So this is the Xiaomi composite fiber version. So now the price. With all these advanced technologies, how much is this foldable display? Compared with the last generation, it is more powerful. It is not just lightweight and slim, it is also a flagship with full functions. It is upgraded comprehensively from the last generation. The price will still be 98.99 Chinese yuan, the same price as the last generation. We also provide you with 1 TB version. It is only 10,999 Chinese yuan. To protect this smartphone, we also provide you with a front case and a back case. This foldable display is really expensive. If you break the display, it will cost you a lot of money to repair it, so I suggest you to use the case. This case also has a stand behind it, so it is meticulously designed. And our colleague also designed another case for retail. It is called the wristband vegan leather case. You can take it out and put it on your wristband, and you can also use it as a stand to support your phone, put it on the table. So this is the case I am using now. A high-end product also comes with premium services. Service is very important. We provide you with dedicated customer service, and the delivery will be free for repair service, and we will provide you with a high-end smartphone as a backup phone. For the early birds, we also provide you with other privileges. For example, we will give you a monthly membership of the platinum members for the 200 gigabyte Xiaomi cloud space. So these are all the technologies for Mix Fold 3. In the end, let's enjoy a video. My colleague just reminded me that The price for the Xiaomi composite fiber version will be the same with the glass version. So the composite fiber only increases the strength of this foldable display. This is why the price for these two versions will be the same. The second product we are going to present you is a new product of Xiaomi Pad, Xiaomi Pad 6 Max. A rarely seen super large tablet. How big is it? It is 14-inch. It is 62% bigger than the 11-inch. Let's compare it with the iPad. It is 59% bigger than the iPad. It is 10% bigger than the iPad 12.9-inch. When I first see the super large tablet, it was incredible, especially when you watch photos on it. It is magnificent. If you watch videos on it with such a huge display, it is incredible. And if you use it to work, you see the characters are larger and more information will be displayed to you. So Xiaomi Pad 6 Max will give you unparalleled experience. First, it will be a visual feast. Meanwhile, it will be the most powerful tool to watch videos, and it will improve your working efficiency. This 14-inch display is a great display.
It's 2.8 UHD display with very high refresh and 600 nits in brightness, and it supports AD dimming and 3 certification for eye protection by TÜV Rheinland. And it has ultra-accurate color display because the display is huge, so we put a lot of efforts on eye protection. We really prioritize it. And we have this very professional, ultra-accurate color display. Also support multi-device color synchronization, and has this 8 super large sound cavity stereo speaker and the 10.6 cc super large sound cavity. It's like a huge cavity speaker with such an excellent display with 8 speakers. Isn't that visual and sound acoustic enjoyment, top enjoyment? This is the family of a Pad 6. We have a Pad 6, Pad 6 Pro, and the Pad 6 Max. This new member is powerful. It carried the design language carried forward, and it has this metal unibody and hidden design of the antenna, weight 750 grams and thickness of 6.53 millimeters, 2 colors, black and silver. And as a productive tool, we designed keyboards and pens for it. So with high productivities, and it has Snapdragon 8 Plus chipset, the best one among all the peers in China, and its performance is max. And it also have a 1-tier ROM version. If you are a gamer, then this is the one for you. And it has 10,000 mAh. People are worried about the durabilities, the battery life. 2 days, way ahead of others. And also it supports deep hibernation. Sometimes when you fish it out, after 2 weeks of not using it, the battery is dead. But with this deep hibernation, it can last for 43.6 days. So whenever you want to use it, it has energy. And we have 67 watts of wired charge turbo and 33 watts reverse charging, so it works like a power bank. And also we optimize this for conference. Teleconference, we have this 20 megapixel front camera, and the image is very good for portrait. You never need to worry about using this and have an ugly portrait like iPhone or iPad. And we have this middle position, the camera, and it can automatically center the person. And also we have the 50 megapixel rear camera. Also we have this microphone array to capture your sound very precisely. If you have the one-person single conference, it only captures the area 60 degrees in front of it. But if you have a group conference, it will capture sound 360 degrees. And also we have the TOF sensors to protect privacy. And if the camera is in operation, there is a green light leading up, so it's good for privacy. And the central tool is the productivity tool. We especially designed this smart touch keyboard. It has a huge keycap equivalent to that of a PC keyboard. And also we have the stylus, and also we have the first row 15 independent short hotkey, and also we have this big trackpad. It's detachable, very flexible to use. You can put the keyboard on your laptop. Isn't that convenient? Also, we redesigned this stylus. The time lag is only 5 ms, and the pen tip is more durable. Some people use it to draw pictures or take notes. Also, it supports simulated laser pointer. It can realize remote-controlled laser pointer. Also, it supports WPS Office PC format. If you use this, you can use it as if you are using it on PC. Also, we have this free working table. Tap it. Drag it down. You can open this free working table. You can open up 4 windows for the simplistic desktop. And you can do online class and taking notes and translation at the same time without switching windows thanks to this huge screen. And we optimized the top 200 applications for the screen. So this is very good for all scenarios. For light office work, for photographers, family gatherings, watching movies, and online class. This screen is really suitable. Let's take a look how to use this huge How about the pricing? Let's conclude it again. Probably you have never seen a huge screen tab, and you do not have a concept of the pad of a piece. When they issue very large pad with the ultra large screens, I thought it's useless. But once I use it, I cannot do without it because the screen is the bigger the better. And I was curious. I was asking, how come there's little such models? There are little such models, and I look at the prices of our competitors like iPad, 10,000 yuan, or even 15,000 yuan. If you have the pad plus keyboard plus pen, You can see the price here is outrageous, excessive. And I thought, how about Android? It should be cheaper. And I look at the Samsung tab, 10,000, easily more than 10,000. So now here is the Xiaomi come to the show. Bigger screen and longer battery life, more better experience, better eye protection. This is our price, 3,799. Now it's open for sale, and for the initial buyer, there's a still discount, 3,599 yuan, only for this couple of days. It has 4 versions of ROM. For the 1T, it's 4,599, also quite affordable. And you can see the auxiliary keyboard, 799, and the touch pen, 499. If you use the two-piece suit, 399. And if about a 3-piece suit, 4,299. And compare with the Apple and Samsung, the price is so cheap. And the reason is we are determined to have you enjoy beautiful life empowered by technologies. So please go to our outlets to try it, and I'm sure you will fall in love with it. All right, with that, we have the third product, Smart Band 8 Pro. For this generation of a band, the biggest advantage is beautiful. It's pretty to look. Good looking is very good for premium product. It's truly beautiful. You have this metal fill frame, 2 colors for the body. You have silver and black. And it supports new generations of easy to remove straps. Really easy to change it. Colorful, myriad of colors and designs, very convenient to use. First supports straps, 4 colors. For the braided straps, 2 colors. Which one do you think is my favorite one? Actually, I prefer the purple one. Probably you don't know. Actually, it's really suitable for gentlemen. Also, for a business elite like me, isn't it more suitable for me? It's leather, 3 colors. And there's one where I'm wearing. This one is a Milanese strap. It's woven with metallic fibers and with a magnetic buckle. Isn't that delicate? It's really delicate strap. And so we have 10 straps to offer and more than 100 watch faces to offer. So go well with your fashion clothes. So good looking is the priority. It must be a good decoration. Many people really love our band. I asked them why not watch it. They replied they like the weightless experience. You can do it while jogging, swimming, taking a shower, or go to bed. You don't feel it. Watch is quite weight, and also it has 14 days of battery life and is waterproof. So it's weightless. Also, it has an NFC, quick payment, and you can open your doors, have the bus cards, pay for the bus, and have the Swift payment. So people like this. For this generation, our configurations and experiences improved significantly, on par with watch. It's similar with watch. 1.74-inch screen, 60 Hz refresh rate, 336 ppi, 600 nits in brightness, and 1070, 10,000 colors. And for the band, it's really the top, and a slim bezel on 4 sides, and 73% screen ratio protected by cunning Gorilla Glass. It's really cool. The performance and the experiences are of a premium level. Also equipped with a watch-level chipset processor with a myriad of applications. It's very smooth to use it, and it supports multi-device connections together with your watch, cell phones, and smart and computers. And also we upgraded the dual-channel monitoring module for health checking the body conditions. It's very sensible. It can support heart rate and blood oxygen, more precise detection. And it has independent GPS. Without a phone, it can record your traceabilities. So it's really powerful compared with our watch. I just switched into this Band 8, and people are worried about our watch. I said, well, we just do our own best. Our watch department will also do their best. This is the price, $399. And for the real leather, $449. It's really affordable.
I strongly recommend you to the Milanese strap. It is quite beautiful and useful, and it suits for both girls and boys for any style of the clothes. This is the new generation Smart Band Pro 8 Pro. After these 3 amazing products, now I want to provide you the Redmi product. Their work is the K60 Ultra. Well, this product is impressive because once it has been released, it can be the version with the best performance, and it will obtain the best performance and experience for the users. To achieve that, about 2 weeks ago, Redmi and MediaTek and Pixelworks, these 3 companies are in alignments and announced to open the post-performance era. In that released event, the president has mentioned some words. Let's see.
不是说我们性能不重要了，而是性能实在是太重要了。性能进入到了一个要拼认知的阶段。 产业链上每一个环节都在独立的发力，无法给用户带来整体的企业的提升。
我们的3方结盟是有史以来最深度的合作。
此次 Redmi 的合作是双方合作的新高点、新起点。
图点半导体和 Redmi 前所未有的深度合作，
死磕性能，血战到底。我们的狂暴引擎不仅可以向下释放 硬件层向上牵引和管理应用层，
充分的利用天机开放的接口，深入的打通。
我们推动 Pixelworks 在 S7的独显芯片固化了我们小米的自研图像算法，
画质、帧率、对比度、清晰度全面突围，
最终达到体验和性能的全面巅峰。
But these presidents confidently mentioned about these words, and let's look at their product. First, it equips with the MediaTek most advanced Dimensity 9200 Plus processor. Well, we started planning 2 years ago in advance together with MediaTek, and we started the core engineering. MediaTek gave the highest level of the underlying permissions this time. Well, the workload was huge for the co-engineering, and each part sent about 200 engineers and co-engineers about 188 items, taking 550,000 hours. And with such great efforts, we have obtained excellent product. Pixelworks have utilized the Xiaomi's self-developed graphics algorithm in their decreed graphic card X7, and the latence of the frame rate competition has been decreased with such two powerful chipsets. And we want to make the VC version a long one. Well, it can have the high efficiency for heat dissipation, and we also use for the graphing heat dissipation and Wild Boost Engine 2.0. Well, it has been improved, the engine. It consists of 5 parts, and it connects with 2 processors online. It empowers many applications. With this combination, the K60 version and has powerful performance. And let's look at the benchmark score is about 1 million. Right now, we selfly do the benchmark because it only represents one part of the performance. And it also supports the mainstream game 144 FPS display. And meanwhile, about 30 versions of the games has been supported, and 101 frames has been using the frame rate composition. Besides, for the mainstream games, well, we have been using the 7.2. And right now, we can realize 1.5K display with excellent image with a lot of details. With such powerful performance, it can also realize 144 FPS plus 1.5K. It's a miracle. It shows the strength of the performance. For this smartphone, it also equips with the second generation 1.5K flat screen. It adopts the latest C7 materials with lower power consumption and higher efficiency. With others, well, it has 1,200 nits for the brightness and 2,600 nits for the peak brightness, 144 Hz and 2,080 to 880 Hz for the PWM. It is quite impressive. The battery is 5,000 mAh and it supports 120-watt quick charging. And media has also tested this one as the best version with the best performance. And I noticed some users have asked us some questions whether it has poor DOU, whether it has poor heat dissipation, whether it will suffer from the heat issue. Well, ladies and gentlemen, during the co-engineering, our target is to change the experience entirely. So how good is the experience created by the K60? I don't know whether you still remember the K50. It was really welcomed by the users. It equips with the Snapdragon 8 Plus processor. As the last generation, the sales was good. Now let's make comparison between those two generations. We will skip the performance. Now let's look at the experience. First is the temperature control, and second is the DOU, third is the starting speed. Number 4 is the memory and the back-end applications. First, in terms of the heavy usage mode, for K60, it wins. And for continuous playing of Douyin, it also takes the lead. And DOU, K60 surpass the other one. And for 3 hours of game, which one has the lower temperature? You can see the results. And for the starting speed is faster and 80 applications more for the back-end applications. So for K50, that was the last generation using the last processor. Maybe it's unfair to compare in this way. But what I want to say is that the experience has been surpassing the last generation. And some competitors also compare with us. Now let's benchmark with them with their best version of the flagship. But this flagship has been using the second generation Snapdragon 8 It has X7 equipment. Now let's look at the results. DOU 0.8 days longer, temperature control 2.1 degrees lower, and we have more back-end applications. Choose tells us the results. Well, we think that it's important to see who has been engineering the processors. Well, people may say it is tested by Xiaomi itself, but we also carried out
K60至尊版的性能测试，
超前首发，
直接测一下性能和能效。
两个枣认真测，好好聊。
20个应用打开速度，拿了另外2台同样搭载天玑92 Plus 的友商机型来做对比。K60至尊版以小幅优势领先，应用后台保活的表现，友商 B 呢同为16GB， 最终保活38个 ，K60至尊版就更狠爆了44个。20轮应用2轮打开测试，切换 APP 还是应用内的滑动操作都是更加流畅的。K60至尊版这次对于天玑92 Plus 的性能调教确实下了一些功夫，
用双芯加狂妄引擎的优化，真正给满血硬件匹配上了满血游戏。
日常方面呢，打开和操作都很流畅。和8.2的旗舰体验呢没有什么明显区别。
K60至尊版确实花功夫去调了它的这个游戏能效，都想给用户带来一台真正好用并且价格公道的手机。
日常体验不输高通，极致性能精益求精。
这是 Realme 最自信的一款产品。
那对于性能的调度呢，还有对硬件的压榨呢，确实有过人之处。硬件性能不用担心，软件性能值得期待。
天玑调教也可以看 Realme 了。这次的 K60家族真的是来了一个灭霸。
Well, it just mentioned is the Thanos. Quite impressive. If you don't believe in those evaluations, after the releasing of the products, you can test it by yourself. If you want to be the one with the best performance, we have upgraded in 3 aspects. First is the texture enhancement. Isn't it beautiful? It has the unibody metal decal, dual ring design, and no screen design, no stand, minimalist frame, and it also the black version has the carbon fiber texture, and the green version is the ceramic-like texture. I like all the colors. We have white, black, and green color. Which one is your favorite? We have carried out survey, and all the colors are welcomed. Next is about the camera. It has been greatly upgraded. We have been adopting the flagship Sony's IMS 800 and also added the OIS system. More importantly, cooperated with MediaTek is not limited within the performance, and the camera department also joined it. Within the MediaTek platform, we have implemented the Xiaomi AI. It supports the end-to-end P3 color gamut, UHDR backlit portrait. Let's look at the results. As you can see, the red color has been upgraded and has been very bright. And this is within the backlit capture, and we can achieve the better results. And for portrait, it can capture more details. Now let's look at some pictures. Well, first, as you can see within the complex light conditions, the system, the sky, and the right walls, the bicycles are quite clear within the picture. It has different layers. And this is a snapshot in the sunshine. During the night, you can see the water drop and the sunset in the far field. And this is the noon during the night, and it's quite difficult to capture the noon during the night version, and you can even see the beard on the face of the man. I have asked the head of the camera department, and he mentioned that the main camera is close to Xiaomi 13 flagship performance. With such good performance, we also challenge the 8K 24 FPS continuous recording. Previously, it can only support 5 to 10 minutes for continuous recording. However, for 8K 24 FPS continuous recording, it needs strong performance. And we also carried out the testing using the same platform created by the competitors. So what about the Redmi?
It is incredible. With such a powerful performance, you can do anything you want. 8K 24 FPS recording, we can do it for 3 hours and 47 minutes. So powerful. We also support IP68. At this price level, this is one of its kind. IP68, it is air and dust resistant. With this function, the quality of your smartphone will be greatly improved. Therefore, IP68 is very important for such a powerful top-notch flagship. How much is it? There is a lot of pressure. People have high hopes to Redmi. Let's have a brief summary of it. We have the best performance in the world, and the experience is thoroughly remodeled. The texture, the camera have been upgraded, and it has IP68. It has a variety of functions. I will not elaborate on it. And MIUI 15 will be upgraded. So how much is it? This is the last generation K50 Ultra with great reputation and sales, and people think it has great cost performance. For this generation, we have did comprehensive upgrading. The price for last generation is 3,599. What about this generation? How much is it? It is up to Mr. Lu Weiding. Mr. Lu said, this year marks the 10th anniversary of the founding of Redmi. To thank all our Mi fans for your support, we are going to give you a great prize. The last generation, it was 3,599. This time, it will be 2,599 Chinese yuan. So Redmi is great. They've been implementing the value of Xiaomi, extremely honest prices. Many colleagues have been challenging us to have better prices than us, but do not forget, honest price has been the strategy of Xiaomi. We will never give it up. We will always stick to it. The same product, better performance, but lower price. This is the way of Xiaomi. We also provide you with the 16 plus 1 TB. So with such a good camera, I recommend you the 3,299 Chinese yuan version. This time, We also provide you with a 24 gigabyte plus 1 TB, which was first launched in the world. Think about 30 years ago, my computer has only 64 KB storage. Looking at 24 gigabyte, it is like a dream. So we think this price is so incredible, and for the K60 Ultra, you can have 71 apps at the back end. How many of you will use 71 apps at the same time? I think only our testing engineer will use it. But use it or not, just buy it, because Redmi is affordable. 3,599, 24 gigabyte plus 1 TB. This is an extremely product. Mr. Lu said we need to postpone the launch by a week. At 10 a.m. on the 22nd of August, we will start the sales. So for Mi fans, the 22nd of August, it will be launched. Mr. Lu told me that we need to postpone the launch by a week, and he wants a unique launch for this K60 Ultra. This time, we come with 5 storage versions. You can have anything you want. So this is K60 Ultra presented by the Redmi team. So far, these are the products we launched. The latest foldable display, Redmi K60 Ultra, Xiaomi Pad 6 Max, Xiaomi Smart Band 8 Pro, and the accessories. These are the products we launched today. We have started the pre-sales on 10 a.m. on the 16th of August. The sales will start. For Pad 6 Max, the sales has started. If you like it, you can buy it now. In a few days, it will be a special date. It will be the birthday of Xiaomi smartphone. On that day, there will be a lot of discounts. We have a number of new products, like the energy-saving air conditioner. This summer is really hot, so the AC team of Xiaomi is really great. Now they are in the fourth place in the world. You should try Xiaomi's air conditioner. We also have Xiaomi's robot vacuum. And for the best sellers, you can enjoy different discounts. Like for Xiaomi 13, you can have a 24-period installment free of interest. And we also have a special campaign. We will pay for the shopping cart of 100 Mi fans. Now, open up the app, put the product you like in your shopping cart, and search for Xiaomi 816, and maybe we will pay for your shopping cart. So this will be valid until the evening of the 16th of August. Now take out your phone, search for Xiaomi's products, and then search for Xiaomi 816. You might be lucky enough because we will pay for your shopping cart. Until now, the launch event has lasted for 2 hours and 50 minutes. And we still have 25 minutes for one more thing. The Mi Robotic Lab will present you their product. It is interesting. 2 years ago, we launched CyberDog. After its launch, we open sourced the platform, and 116 research institutes and universities choose to use our platform and conducted 452 research programs. Many of the universities spoke highly of us. Director of the Robot Control Lab of Tsinghua University, Mr. Zhao Mingguo, said, Xiaomi in the industry of robotic technology stick to open source. It has promoted the overall development from research development to industrial development. The executive of Orange said they use CyberDog's platform to develop 5 products, and they also explored the integration of XR technology and digital twin technology in mixed reality. how to give CyberDog more application scenarios. Now let's look at our latest product, CyberDog 2. Do you like it? I asked my engineer what is the selling point of CyberDog 2. They told me it is more doggy. It is more like a dog. It is smarter. It is more like a dog. Its body type is smaller than the previous generation. It is 8.9 kilogram. It is 36.7 centimeters tall. So it is like a small dog. It is much smaller than a golden retriever. It looks like a Doberman. Why did we develop a small dog? Because 2 years ago, people suggest that we should size down the CyberDog because a large dog looks scary and dangerous. So people asked us, can we develop a smaller dog? It is difficult to develop a small dog, and it took us 2 years. Why is it difficult to develop a smaller dog? Because of the servo actuator. For smaller dog, it requires smaller servo actuator, and the motion of the CyberDog has high requirement to the actuator. It must have precise control and sufficient power. And a dog has 12 servo actuator plus the motor reducer, so there are 12 sets of servo actuators, and each joint is controlled by the servo actuator. It has to be extremely small, it has high power, it has to be precise. Now the robotic industry is not mature enough. There are very limited suppliers of the actuator. Let's not mention the technical indicators. When we ask for a quote, the servo actuator itself is over 2,000 RMB. So one dog needs 12 actuators. So just the servo actuators will cost us 24,000 Chinese yuan. So there is no way. We have to develop by ourselves. We developed CyberGear in 2 years. This CyberGear is very powerful. This CyberGear is only 317 gram. Its control precision of momentum is 0.2 Newton meter, and its torque is only 12 Newton meter. So the CyberDog 2 has a very high level of movability because of the servo actuator. Let me show you a video and demonstrate how precise the control can be. We ask CyberDog to touch the tofu and see whether it will break the tofu or not, because the precision of control is very important. See? Very precise control of the power. In addition, it has a better smart biosimulated system. It is very strong in decision making. In this CyberDog 2, it has 19 sensors. It has a laser radar. It has 5 cameras. It has 4 ToF sensors. It also has a touch sensor. If you touch the dog, it will respond to you. When I first saw it, I thought it is like a smart electrical vehicle. Why is it so sophisticated? So the smarter, the more biosimulated CyberDog is, it requires more sensors. With so many sensors, it also has a brain. This super brain has 21 TOPS computing power. It is an AI processor with 2 co-processors, one responsible for motion control, one responsible for voice interaction. With such high computing power, the CyberDog 2 will be smarter and smarter in the future. In order to make it more biosimulated, on a robot reinforced learning platform, we simulated 30,000 dogs for concurrent training. So the training effect is improved by 30,000 times. So CyberDog 2 learned a lot of new tricks. It is getting smarter. First new trick is brisking. No matter how fast the owner walks, it can always keep up. The second trick is continuous backflip. It can also do a flip. See? Very easy and graceful. It can also skateboard. You see, it maintains balance by itself. It is amazing. It has another trick. So when we develop the CyberDog, because balance is very important, but in the training, CyberDog always fall, and the engineer have to carry it and put it back up. So we come up with an idea that maybe we should train the dog to rise up on its own. So right now, CyberDog cannot fall easily. And I think perhaps we can show people this. But the engineer told me that it is difficult for the dog to fall. Once they fall, they will rise back up very quickly. And I said, why don't you kick it? And they said, do you have a dog? And I said, no. So they asked me, how can you kick a dog? I said, it's just for an experiment. Let's see. Very easily, it will rise back up on itself. And it is called graceful rise up after fall.
In addition, it's really smart following the master. When when people are on the way, no problem, continue it. Even a bicycle cutting in the middle, it will not interfere with its tracing abilities, and it's very good at avoiding obstacles. This is our more bionic and smarter Generation 2 CyberDog. CyberDog 2 is really powerful. It looks more like a real dog and have 12 free angles and the speed 1.6 meters per second, very strong computing power, and have a cyber generator and accurator, and very good at self-learning. Now you may pay attention to one topic, whether the future of this cyber technology impact our life. Let's show this video for us.
今天多云转阵雨，记得带伞。
我回来了。
Isn't that enjoyable? So, this is what our laboratory have to offer. CyberDog 2. For this new generation, we will continue to open our resource to promote the development of cyber robotic together. By this point, you now understand what Xiaomi is going to do. not only a very good cyber robotic, but also to push forward with the entire industry so that technologies can better serve the people. What we open, our system code and architect drawings, functional ports, and visualized coding tools. If you are interested, you can apply for it on our Xiaomi official website so that we can co-develop together. It's highly open. Our team have tried it. We changed the entire structure. It can realize color-changing model. Isn't that cool? The structure drawing is open, so it's quite easy to change it. We have a full set of drawings online available. If you want to have an independent looking change, it's easy to realize that. And how about the price for this one? When it comes to pricing, 2 years ago, I forced them to set the price 9,999. But then they lost a lot because the cost was too high. They told me that some other teams bought it only for the servers inside. It's like 700 yuan for a server. It's a huge discount. He said that we can forget about the R&D cost, but how about the material cost? Let's only buy its own way, because we have KPIs for each department. And then they challenged me about the pricing. So for this generation, it's a little bit expensive. Do not overblame me. Let's together support the development of this industry. And for this more bionic one, this is the price, 12,999 yuan. All right. This is a development platform. It serves primarily programmers and developers and also cyber professionals. It needs technology expertise. For common users, we do not recommend it for common mainstay consumers. It still needs some way to go, so it's his position as a development platform. And for this price, do not disassemble it for the service. We open this for sale. The price is 499. It's 1/4 or 1/5 of the pricing of the price of our competitors' offerings. Recently, I get to know a new friend, and he is really interested about our development, and he prepared a footage for us. Let's take a look.
人与科技是什么关系？人为什么拥有想象力？
好奇心吧。
好奇心应该如何定义？
好奇心是推动科技的原动力，也可能闲的吧。
人应该如何定义？科技又应该如何定义？科技为我们人类带来的是美好的生活，亦或是彻底的颠覆？
我们需要以包容的心态看待科技的每一步，我们需要以更宽广的心胸，给予科技更友善的发展空间。
人与科技是什么关系？上小米官网和郭帆一起共创机器人的未来。
He is Guo Fan, the director of Wandering Earth. Well, isn't that interesting? He will become our co-creator of a scientific humanism with his imaginative power to together help us to empower our development and invite more scientists and artists to join. Together we can explore the future of robotics. That's all I have to offer for today's speeching. A wholly new Xiaomi is in a thriving mode, is determined and full of commitment, and is traveling to the dreamland, its unbounded future. And on this journey, we will, together with people who have dreams, to surge forward. Dreams make people great, and pursuing them make people grow up. Only with firm dreams and realistic growing up, we can deliver the best future and imagine for the world to narrow the grandest picture of this era. Growing up needs constant input, and this is the answer we have for our era. Thank you very much. This is what we have to today's launching event. We have 3 hours and 10 minutes for today's events. Already we finished it. And also thank you for people who are joining online. Special thanks to all the 3,500 friends who come at present to support me. To thank for you, we have prepared some little gifts for you who attend on the spot. I really like this one. Meanwhile, I have 2 books for you. Xiaomi's Journey and Xiaomi's Entrepreneurial Thinking. If you want it, you can take it on the reception desk. Thank you. Thank you again.
We're Salon Bart.
And we're Xiaomi creators. We're heading to the other side of the world to meet the man that originally inspired us to start filmmaking.
You may have actually heard of him.
My name is Sam Calder and I'm there. This is just a reminder to myself. Create with no limitations.
And whilst we're on our adventure, we're going to be using the Xiaomi 13 Pro and the Xiaomi 13 Ultra.
And we're going to tell you who we are and how we became creators.
Hey from Cape Town!
Let's just zoom in right on his little face.
There are a million different ways to become a creator.
Ours was quite unexpected because we were studying traditional subjects at university with Sal taking biology and me studying law.
It was not clicking at all, and we knew we wanted something different.
We wanted freedom, we wanted adventure, and that's when we started dabbling in photography and filmmaking. We got started with mobile filmmaking and we made a short film literally in our apartment, and it was unbelievable, but it made the final of a film festival. Xiaomi saw our film and reached out to us. A dream of becoming full-time creators became reality. So yes, we work together every day as a creator couple, But you might be wondering, how do we actually manage to do that? If there's ever a disagreement or like a difference of opinion, we are very mature about how we go about solving that, and we'll just go with Sal's idea.
But in reality, we have really quite different brains, so we work really well together. Like Bart comes up with the big ideas, and I actually bring him back down to earth to make those ideas possible. But one thing is for sure, we always take our ideas way too far.
Sal, what do you think about going to South Africa to meet Sam Calder?
You say never meet your heroes, but we're about to find out whether you should. It's really cool that you guys all came out here and we managed to make this happen. This is really exciting.
No matter how you get started on your creative journey, believe in yourself, find your path, and chase your big dreams.
As professional filmmakers, we love the fact that you can use the Xiaomi 13 Pro and Ultra in every situation, like from capturing our daily memories together to using them on a full production.
With the ability to shoot 4K 24 FPS in log and the insane optical quality Leica lenses, it's literally a professional filmmaking tool. And for the adventure stuff, you've got the optical image stabilization and the water and dust resistance, which make them perfect for your travel, beach, water kind of filmmaking. That's us. See you around.
Xiaomi.
I'm Dan Watson, a photographer from Manchester. So today, basically, we'll be out trying to capture the love and kind of emotion and affection of elderly couples out on the streets of Manchester using the new Xiaomi 13 Pro and capture similar images to the masterpiece shot that was taken on my Leica. So I chose this image because I think it's really strong and really brings across the emotion and affection between the couple. I'd just like to capture a series of shots that follow on from this. So basically we'll head out onto the streets, see what we can see, and hopefully get some nice shots that really kind of bring across the kind of emotion and love that's shown in the masterpiece image. I was introduced to street photography just after I moved into Manchester and just found myself wandering the streets and noticing split-second moments happening between people, whether that be an interaction or just something happening that would usually just go unnoticed by everybody else, and I just felt it was important to kind of document these moments and just life and emotion on the street, really. So shooting the older couples in this way really resonated with me and captured my eye. You see younger kids in town, there's so many distractions, social media, but with the older couples there's a real strong connection, and you can really tell that, and I'm hoping to kind of bring that across in these shots. So yeah, one of the nice features that I've noticed today while I was out shooting with the phone was the colours and just the tones that come out of the images. Very similar to my digital Leica that I used to shoot with a few years ago, which is nice. It gives a kind of real authentic feel to the shots. So yeah, I think we've been quite lucky today, just looking through some of these shots. We seem to have some strong images. I have days where I'm out shooting and you walk around for an hour, 2 hours and not take one picture. So I'm quite happy today. We've got quite a few images. For instance, this one I feel is really strong. The couple linking arms. It's just a really nice, clean backdrop. I quite like the way he's turning to look at her as well. It's really nice. So another image that I really like